sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the sky, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you. Can make me move. Make it last forever. Stop in time. I'll surrender it. Hold tight, hold tight. Chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. Can make me can make me. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Oh, yeah. Whoops, I was muted. Well, we're already through the band phase almost. And we see a lot of bands coming through here. Ashen Embers was pretty diverse about their bands. We have a top jungle flex in the Lilia band, the Senna band for a full bot lane flex, and a middle Victor band. And on the other hand, we have two top lane bands coming out through the Gangplank and the Seraphine. So here we go. The Seraphine. Oh, the Seraphine D1. Actually, a very strong champion. Pretty much a three-way flex, can go mid and can go to either of the bot roles. So even if you think it's going bot, I mean, it can always go EDC and you pick a support to protector in case it gets, quote unquote, a bad support matchup. But Epsilon here, doesn't think too much about it. They answer almost immediately with the Volley Bear. have, let's see what this happens. Oh, the Zillion. Okay. Another big flex pick here between support and mid lane. And the support that Volley very much likes will also prevent Ashen from potentially running a double Enchanter comp. I know that Zillion usually a pretty good partner with Seraphine, but I do want to say that the Karma is still open. So if Ashen Embers wanted to opt into the double Enchanter, they could always still grab the Karma here. But the Samira coming out, Samira is a pick that Mr. Dog Creatine, aka Corey JJ, has found a lot of success in recently. It could be a takeaway pick along with just being a comfort pick for their ADC. I'm not sure what that player plays, but here, I mean, there go the flexes, right? They pretty much said Seraphine's going mid, and we have Samira Nautilus bot lane, very aggressive bot lane. So let's see how they react. I think that Zillion is a fine matchup for the Seraphine in the mid lane, but the Renata, a classic Nautilus counter, but a champion that does struggle a little bit against the Samira, who can block off her ult if she uses her little wind wall correctly. But another top lane ban coming through here, so I'm assuming that Epsilon is going for these bans, and they're giving Dobbin counter picks. So if you're Epsilon, you're really gonna need Dobbin to take advantage of all of this all of this love he's getting right now. Never mind, the Aatrox ban is not being sent through, but instead of Viego ban, thinning out the jungle options right now. I mean, it's just top in jungle for Ashen Embers to be picked, right? Where on the other hand, Epsilon has a bit of an advantage in that the ADCs, it's kind of hard to thin out. They've already banned the Senna, which is one of Samira's biggest headache champion opponents. So we'll see how Ashen Embers responds. See what's going on next. So the Ezreal, I mean, they're thinning out the ADC pool. The Wukong coming out, a top jungle flex pick, just in case Ashen wanted to, run one last flex pick. Pick a Wukong along with another top jungle, flex. You get rid of that potential headache. I mean, there's still some of the Mordekaiser ban coming through. So what I was thinking is, a team could always run the with Yasuo. No way. No, I don't think Yasuo gets picked here. Would be pretty interesting, I guess. But I just, it would make Seraphine's life pretty hard. But no, let's go with the Lucian. Another lane dominant ADC to make sure that the Samira and Nautilus don't just get to be the bullies they want to be. They're matched with with another early game ADC in the Lucian, and Nautilus has probably one of his worst matchups in the Renata. But let's see what Ashen decides to pick for their jungle and their top lane. The Graves, technically a flex pick. I'm guessing this is gonna go jungle, but could always go top. Not the best top blind, in my opinion, but there's a lot of counters to it. But let's see what Epsilon has left. I do want to note one thing is that the Olaf is open, but Epsilon is pretty heavy stacked on AD on it, so I'm not sure they can afford to not take an AP option. But on the other hand, okay, Nar coming through here. I mean, I think you take the Olaf. I don't know. It's really hard to say here, mainly because you have Lucian, you have Volibear, not exactly amazing tank shredders. Olaf isn't going to help a whole lot with that. On the other hand, Ashen Embers, they have the Nautilus and the Gnar to be tanky. I'm not too sure. The Nasus, I don't know about that one either. I think that's a lot worse than the Olaf. I think Olaf's not banned. Olaf's good into Gnar. If you're gonna go AD anyways, I think you just go Olaf. Don't really know about this one. Can't say I'm the biggest fan, but maybe there's been some draft kingdom that I am unaware about, which is always possible. And maybe I'm just not seeing the vision, but that's probably about it. I mean, I don't have much more to say about these comps. I guess the Nasus has the Zillion, and I do see them having a hard time killing the Nasus if he gets going. I don't see the Gnar really punishing him or being able to hold him on a side lane. On the other hand, I think Ashen Embers has some pretty good team fighting. They have the Gnar with his Mega Form. They have the Seraphine and the just all around really good team fighting comp. Whereas Epsilon, I think they have a pretty decent side laning comp. They can have the Nasus go on a rampage. If the Nasus gets really big, they have double revives in the Zillion and the Renata. So a champion like the Nasus could 1v9 the late game because I mean on the other hand, I do think Ashen Embers do lack a little bit of damage in terms of just completely blowing up the Nasus. I think if they're not able to kill the Nasus quickly, I think it's just kind of game over for Ashen. There's not much for them to do in my opinion. But we'll have to see how it goes. I'm pretty interested in watching this game play out. I think that Epsilon's comp is a little bit harder to pull off, but they do have some early game strength in the Volibear, spam ganks. I think that there's a lot of good setup through the Zillion. So, the Seraphine, if she's ever a little past lane, Volibear runs in, she gets sped up, and if she doesn't have flash, she's just going to die. So, I'm excited to watch these two teams play this out, and I'm excited to see how this is going to go. But in the meantime, we are going to go on a short break, and we will be right back.
that's what you assume. Now I must conclude I am conflicted, watching where hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, now I've got to see. Spent all my life holding on closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm feeling it all, fearless.
All right, welcome back. We're getting started here in this game one between Dorado Gaming Epsilon and Ashen Embers. And it looks like Ashen is trying to go for a little sneaky invade, but Epsilon is way ahead of them, putting down the ward, and Nass is not even bothering to check the bush himself. Today, I am joined by my color caster and our newest Dorado Sigma member, Mr. Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this game goes. It seems like Blue Team has gone for or Ashen has gone for a fairly standard team fight composition, and we have gone for kind of a solo QE type composition. But a lot of the champions I like, Volibear, Zillion, very good combo. Renata Lucian is pretty whatever, but I think it was a denial from the Samira pick, so I am excited to see how this all goes out.
Yeah, definitely the Samira coming out. Pretty strong champion. I mean, they went ahead and grabbed the Zillion early, and as a result, they were denied the Samira by Ashen. Like you said, I do see Ashen's Empire having a lot more 5v5 power. I think they do have an easier to navigate comp. I do think if Epsilon gets going, I don't think they have the greatest answers for a super fed Volibear or Nasus with a Zillion and Renata behind them. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, actually, on the threat in later in the game by the Nasus and maybe even the Volibear.
Yeah, it all really depends on how well Dobbin can play this early part of the lane, because Gnar is an extreme lane bully at the moment, and he also scales pretty well with the new Triforce build. So it'll basically just depend on how well can Dobbin CS and or control this wave, while Gnar is just going to poke him out. As you can see, it's already hurting a little bit to watch that top lane happen.
Yeah, I mean the wave is naturally pushing in. I think if he can get a good freeze and get some good stacks while he freezes, then he could be in a pretty good spot. I don't think he's playing it well. He took the Doran shield. I'm sure he has second wind. He has fleet footwork, so it's not a bad. That's the worst position to be in if you're this Nasus. You're beyond 7 TS. I guess you can be better, but it's Nasus. As long as you're not turbo feeding early on, you're probably doing pretty well for yourself.
Yeah, and Dorado top laners are definitely well known for whipping out the D-Cane every once in a while, as we do see Volibear heading in, is spotted on vision.
Yeah, Volibear is spotted, and they've seen that he's only cleared 4 camps, but he's gonna be able to win over this bottom scuttle, I believe. I don't think that this Graves is gonna want to match him. I do want to say that this Nard did eat some tower shots, so that's a little bit of pressure gone. I mean, every little bit helps, especially when you have a lot more sustain in the Nasus. Sure, you're getting harassed, but all of these health tools, all these survival tools that you have, make the harass not feel so bad at the end of the day.
Yep, you've got a lot of ways to get your HP back. Doran's shield is obviously very good. Second wind, very good. Fleet footwork, giving you HP as well. Always nice to see yourself sustain through a lane, especially when you have basically zero chance of trading.
What are your thoughts on what the build for Seraphine should be? In my opinion, I think she has to go AP. I think if she goes like a supportive build and this Nasus gets strong, it could be a pretty doomer situation for Ashen Empire. But it looks like Hybrid was going for the lane gank here. But there is a ward in that middle bush, unfortunately for them, so nothing will come of it.
In my opinion, I think Seraphine should definitely go for like a Leandri's build here. There's little to no reason to go for a supportive build whenever your main objective this game is just to blow things up. If you look at their team comp, you're not looking to take like extremely long fights against the enemy team, especially whenever they have stuff like Zillion, Renata, Volibear. Those champions are really good at continuously fighting. You kind of just want to blow things up. Leandri's would be a perfect thing here. You can also go Ludens if you really wanted to, but I think that she should go for something like Leandri's with maybe a Chemtech if you really need it, but we'll see.
And Dobbin taking some damage here, but not before backing. I mean, he's not really too worried here. He's going to be able to freeze it. I don't think he's going to let King Mike freeze this top lane. King Mike taking a lot more damage than he'd probably like. Actually, this wave is going to end up frozen for the meanwhile. Never mind, it's going to end up bouncing back because King Mike didn't freeze it off correctly. I think if you're Dobbin, you just back and walk back the lane.
Looks like Hybrid is going to come up. I don't think that this actually freezes out. Not sure what the hold is here. But we do see this is going to be a big fight.
Nass is ghosting for some reason. I don't think he needs to ghost, but I guess better safe than sorry. And it is a no, it's a lower cooldown than Flash, so I guess it's not too bad. The wave's gonna bounce back, so here the Gnar is trying to get the bounce back. Will they be fast enough? I think it will. Yeah, never mind. They're gonna get in fast.
It'll blow Nasus's TP, but it really won't make him miss out on too much. He might
Yeah,
miss maybe
missing. I
a
think
minion.
a minion. Yeah, he's gonna miss a minion. I think it's pretty good overall. If you're the Nassus, how it's been so far. You're down some CS 2 waves, but again, your time will come, and right now you're just biding your time, hoping you can get stronger.
Yeah, Nasus is really here just to be a complete menace in the later team fights. That's really what Nasus is normally picked for. He doesn't have very many wither targets because Samira doesn't really care about auto attacking as much, and Graves can just kind of auto once every like second. So
Yeah,
he doesn't have wither targets later in the game, but I will say that the slowdown will hurt Graves quite a bit.
yeah, I can see it being a little annoying for the Samira, but we'll have to see. She does have the cleanse. I do wonder if she will be cleansing Nasus Wither though. Bot lane is actually, I haven't mentioned it so far, but they are up around 9 CS. Samira, who normally wants to be dominant with this matchup with the Nautilus, is not exactly doing so right now. And Dobbin, once again, doing pretty well for himself. The wave is pushing into the Gnar, but fortunately for him, the Graves is on the other side of the map, so there's not too much threat unless he fails to break freeze.
A lot of priority being placed on the bottom side of the map. I think both of these teams want to look to get this first dragon. I think that this will go Dorado's way unless a miracle happens for Ashen.
Yeah, I mean the Graves is off the map. Volibear is they're already on it with the Zillion. I think it's just always all Dorados. Seraphine calling out the Zillion's missing, but it'll be a little too late. There's no time to react. And Volibear is not too far behind what we're seeing a fight in the top lane, forcing the Gnar to ult the Nasus away and ultimately not really doing anything.
Yeah, and at this point, Gnar can't really fight. So once Gnar and Nasus are both level 6, Nasus kind of just wins this matchup if he tries to fight too long.
Yeah.
You really want to try to poke him down while you're in that mini Gnar, and if he's not able to do it, then it just becomes very difficult for him to match that. But Graves is invading on the top side.
Yeah, Graves is going to be running into the Volibear, but Volibear does have ult and flash, so we'll see how this fight goes. Zillion is going to not be able to move first, I think. Not sure what's going on in the fight. I wish it would show us. Never mind. Graves is just going to back off and not bother, not take the risk. Did not want to risk that fight.
No bother for the Volibear, who is very tanky, especially with his ultimate being up. So there's really not any chance that Graves wins that early fight unless he's just mega ahead, which he is not at the moment. So
yeah, Volibear is at his Krugs. I think he's in a good position right now. Dobbin, again, the Nasus doesn't really care. Nasus is just gonna attack him, and he's gonna be healing back soon. Volibear potentially looking for a gank here on the Gnar.
No vision on top side either.
Yeah. No vision from either top laner on top side. I'm pretty disappointed, I've got to say. And King Mike might have to flash here. Yep. I'm not sure. Oh, the King Mike is going to die because, what is he going to do? Yep.
Ooh.
And at first, my immediate reaction, like for half a second, was, why did Hybrid flash there? But almost right away, I was like, well, what is Gnar going to do, right? He's going to get ulted, and it's a secure kill every single time. The Gnar doesn't have TP, and I think this might be the time where the Nasus just starts pulling ahead and starts being a little uncontrollable. Did the Volibear walk through the bush and ignore that control ward?
I don't think that he ignored the control ward, but I'm not sure. I did not see.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're gonna go onto this Graves. Graves is forced to back off. I don't think he grabbed the blue. Did he grab the blue? No, he didn't. He did not grab the blue.
Graves is really trying to make, I believe he did. He's really trying to make these invades work so that he can make some extra gold because Volibear is a much more effective ganker at this stage. So he wants to try to get ahead in farm as the Volibear is able to gank. And he's really not getting too much far ahead as far as what you would like to see.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's getting a little frustrating.
Yeah, the Volibear already purchasing his Chemtech. Let's look at the gold difference between the two. Despite having like 18 more CS, really only 100 gold ahead. That first blood 400 gold is huge. And even though the Graves is full clearing, the impact on the map is just You feel it a lot more for Dorado than the perma farming from Graves is able to do for them. Do you also want to note that this Graves has opted into the lethality build, which I think will give him some of that early skirmishing power that he might want, but I think it will ultimately it might not pay off later in the game when the Nasus and Volibear become super tanky.
Yeah, unless he is thinking of just trying to one-shot Lucian in the later game, his build should probably be either Go Drinker, or you can also go for something like, let's say, Gale Force.
Yeah.
Even.
Just I mean anything else that could scale a little bit better. I don't think the scaling's too horrible, but I do think he's gonna want to pivot to something that will be able to damage tanks at some point in the mid game. I think that there will be vital fights in the mid game where you're gonna want to pop the Nasus, and I'm not sure that lethality will be able to do that, especially since the Nasus has so much incentive to go. Yeah, look like the Frozen Heart, um, little freeze going on in the bot lane. And I think that Ashen could be in a bit of a rough spot, uh, given this freeze.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing happening in the bot lane, which is actually favoring Lucian a lot because Lucian scales pretty well in the current meta. His build is pretty good heading into the later stages of the game. There's not a lot of tanks on the enemy team, so he's just going to be able to kind
Yeah.
of rip through people
And
later.
quick stack check. Nasus is at 250 stacks so far, which is pretty good, especially having been in a ranged lane. I mean, it's only going to get bigger. And King Mike already getting scared of the Nasus, instantly ulting him away. Not really doing anything.
If you notice, Dobbin has gone with Frozen Heart as his first item,
Yes,
which
Mr.
is good into Samira and also Graves.
And Mr. Coffee would be extremely proud right now, seeing his favorite item being built first.
Yes, Frozen Heart definitely a slept-on item. Same with things like Frostfire, Anathemas, etc.
I'm glad he
So-
didn't build things like Bramble. I know that there was once a time where people people still do, but some of our top laners would have also have rushed to Bramble, and I'm glad that we're a little more civilized now, and we are Frozen Heart enjoyers.
Yeah, everybody went to the Church of Coffee for that one, as the dragon
Ocean-
is going to get grabbed up.
Ocean Drake going over to Ashen, but I do think I don't know if you've heard me talk about the Ocean Drake before and my opinions on it, but I think it's a great first dragon. I think it's a horrible second dragon. It feels pretty bad to grab Ocean Drake second because it's kind of past the point where it feels really good. You get the first dragon, it's an Ocean Drake, gives you a lot of early lane sustain that you might not have otherwise. But I think 13, 14 minutes into the game, I think a lot of champions are they're pretty comfortable with sustaining in the lane. A little bit of a trade going on in the mid lane. Seraphine, it's about an even trade. Looks like they're getting ready to dive the Gnar.
They do know about this Volibear being up here, so he's just going to retreat back, able to get one plate for Dobbin, which is fine. That one's still sticking in a turret.
Yeah. Volibear's
The
still
fight goes
going,
up.
but he doesn't get the stun. The blast cone saves, or maybe it saves Epsilon. I'm not sure who would have won that fight there, but looks like they're gonna go for some plates here before they go away. Oh, what a burst!
Big double bomb coming out, but obviously you wanted this to go towards your Nasus, but there wasn't the play there. They didn't have enough setup to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
So just setting it down to be able to get gold. I think that it was expiring soon, and also plates were expiring. So
I like that Lillian opted into I think Mike just doing that on repeat. I mean, I guess he just doesn't really think he's ever gonna fight the Nasus, so he's like, I'm just gonna ult him to maybe position better.
yep, is now King Mike has to jump away. Obviously, Gnar does not want to fight this Nasus, even though Gnar is on his completed item at this point, as now Hybrid coming in.
Yeah, and they're jumping onto the Gnar. They got the flash out, the TP coming in from Seraphine. And Creatine could be in trouble here. He might want to flash, but Hook does have a good angle for the ult. Never mind, he flashes, realizing that the Samira is a little too close, and that she might just block out the her ultimate.
Yeah, pretty decent flash there. Definitely made a lot of noise with that root. Kept Nautilus from engaging for another half second. Not able to blow anything from Creatine. Just got the flash from Renata, but she's fine with that trade.
Yeah, and I guess the Graves was not listening to our stream. He opted into the Umbral Glaive, so he will not be scaling that well. He's he's investing a lot of his power into this early mid game. But I think that the threats that he wants to deal with don't really care about having to face the Graves of the number. So
Yeah,
we'll see
I
how it
don't think
goes.
that there's a chance that he gets onto Lucian in the later fights. It really just depends on how well he's able to flank around. But whenever you're Graves, you don't want to be the guy flanking around. You want to be up in that team fight because
Ooh.
you're so tanky. Oh,
I've been
for
missing
Shane.
that plus 12 for Shane. But he can
Oh,
always
but he's
stack
getting
this.
killed.
Hopefully he stacks this. Well, he stacks the ward. Thank you, Dobbin, for redeeming yourself.
As the only thing that Umbro really offers to Graves is an earlier power spike on his lethality is now. Ooh,
Oh, and Seraphine here at the angle. Zillion TPing in, looking for the fight. Volibear is here. We're getting a big team fight. Graves gets turned on. Graves can't really fight the Volibear because, once again, what is the Umbro Glaive going to do? He gets jumped on. And I think ultimately yeah, he's going to live. It's fine. You know, no big deal. A flash out of the Graves. And I think you're pretty happy with this trade if you're Dorado. Sure, you get the TP out from Zillion, but, you know, just show up on time and it won't be a problem.
just a super mega random fight for almost zero reason.
Yeah, there was no objectives here. I mean, I understand that. Oh, whenever we're going to see the fight continue here, the Nautilus gets turned on. Nautilus is forced to flash the big Samira. Oh no, the big Samira, the big Seraphine ult. But Udyr has the
Oh,
Volibear has the revive, and Samira is unable to effectively block out the ultimate there.
yeah, and you can see Dobbin smartly holding on to his ultimate here as now Hybrid's going back in.
Yep, and it's you know, oh, actually, I think that was worth it. Getting rid of the Samira's flash, the Nautilus goes in to try to save the Samira, which I think was a safe anyways, and ends up gifting over another kill to Epsilon. Overall, this it was a good play for Epsilon, but I do want to say that was such a pointless fight. That fight did not need to happen at all for Ashen, who forced that fight and pretty much rewarded Epsilon for reacting to a fight that wasn't necessary anyways. So this is a pretty bad position for Ashen Embers to be in. I think that what we talked about, the Graves, he funneled a lot of his power into this early game impact. I don't think it's going to happen now because Volibear's strong, Nasus is strong, and they have a Zillion and Renata behind them.
I think Nasus is somewhere around like 400 stacks at this point. No boots, doesn't need them. He said, keep letting me stack up. I'm going to buy more items, just get more passive stacks. And it's this early game's actually going so well for Nasus. They're not putting any pressure onto him, and he's just kind of vibing while farming.
Yeah, and what do you think this Gnar is going for with that pickaxe? I mean, I can't think of an item that he Goldbreaker. Okay, I don't even think it's going to help him to be able to match
maybe go
this Nasus.
We could maybe go Bork, but that would be really strange.
Oh well, Dobbin's actually dead here, so I genuinely don't see any way my son survives this.
Oh.
They're sending the Nautilus ult to make sure he can't run away.
Oh.
Never mind, he's running away anyways, and
this is waste so much time though.
Yeah, he's wasting their time, and honestly, I don't mind that he ulted here. Oh my god, he actually almost killed the Gnar there. I like it. Oh, and they're gonna rightfully punish the Samira for this, and Samira goes down 1-for-1, and they're gonna get a tower and return to TP. And Epsilon, I think, a smart play to punish for their Nasus getting 4-man.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure onto the top side. As soon as I said that there was no pressure top side, everything went top side.
Definitely a little time traveling caster curse. But Dobbin's still suffering from it. The universe knew you would say that. But I do want to highlight, I guess, one positive strictly for Dobbin there and for Epsilon from that play. Obviously, aside from the Samira and the mid tower going down, is that I think you kind of showed Ashen that 4 of you guys might not be good enough for a clean kill on the Nasus. The Nasus might 1-for-1 next time when you guys send 4 for him. So what does that mean for a potential 2v1 3v1 against this Nasus? And I'd be a little shook if I was the side of Ashen Embers.
Yeah, and even if he was able to get onto somebody like maybe the Seraphine, he would have been able to definitely trade back. The only reason he wasn't able to was because of the Gnar.
Yeah, and I think Seraphine's gonna die anyways. I mean, Seraphine, what is she gonna do? She's rooted, and
it's done. Oh no.
There's literally nothing she can do here. No flash. No point in really burning your ult here if you're Seraphine. I think I'll give her at least the points for that restraint. And it looks like this time they're returning the favor with a 4-man top against his Gnar, just to crack open that tower to give that Nasus a little bit more room to roam around.
Yeah, Nar unfortunately is just going to be stuck, left to his own devices up here. Dobbin can tank this turret for almost ever, but he doesn't have to. He's got hybrid carry.
Wait, this could be
Oh,
pretty bad. Never mind. Oh, he goes Mios. Never mind. It is not bad at all. I want to say, I'm not sure how this Nard didn't notice. Um, didn't notice that this was happening. Nautilus taking a lot of damage. Wow, almost killed. If the Zillion had another bomb there, that that Nautilus is dead. And
Yeah.
you know, Epsilon just playing Ashen off the map. Ashen looking like they're not even playing the same game right now. This has been pretty overall dominance from the side of Epsilon.
Yeah, it's pretty one-sided at this point. Dorado have been making much better rotations, and Ashen seem like they're always on the back burner. They made one proactive play on the top side, but it got them punished so hard that now they have no mid turrets, and
Yep.
they're about to lose some of their side turrets as well if Dorado do start stacking into their jungle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Though the one proactive play that they made, I mean, it went so well for Epsilon that it barely was even worth it. Epsilon, reacted very well, whereas I guess that's the difference between the two teams. One team, when a play happens, they react poorly and they react solely to the play, whereas Epsilon, when the one play happened against them, I think they had a very good reaction, and they've benefited from having better proactive and reactive play, whereas Epsilon is just not, I mean, not Epsilon, Embers is just not having the same luck.
This is iconic build here for hybrid carry. It's so good. I hate Volibear with Divine Sunder in the jungle. Just go for the tank build. You do as much damage anyway.
Yeah,
It's actually
and
so good.
I mean, really, you want to be just a stun bot. You want to be really annoying. You always do a bunch of damage. King Mike might be dead here. And what does King Mike do here? Poor man. Yeah, I mean, I mean, we're seeing the damage here. No damage item from the Volibear, and no damage.
Oh, he is just. Gosh, this is continuing for so long, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
and they
matter.
still have the Zillion.
Oh,
ulti
Zillion
as well.
could be in trouble here. Hybrid is in a weird spot. He's gonna get ulted. I think he's gonna be fine. Oh, but the Zillion does get charmed. But the Volibear does go for the suicide to get some health back. And not. Oh, what a big 3-man stun for Zillion. Yeah, I think this Dragon's just gonna go over to Epsilon. Another play where Epsilon just Ashen's just unable to respond.
They are currently on the back burner very hard, and their jungler can't really make anything happen because he is playing this Graves. Ooh, but
And I think Nautilus will just die here. Never mind. He's gonna have to flash over. Seraphine unfortunately did waste her ult earlier. That could have been a pretty good fight. I mean, they're in the corridor. It could have been a big Seraphine ult angle, but it's not up, so it won't happen.
another thing that's like good on the Epsilon side of the draft is that Samira doesn't get the chance to.
Oh
block
my god, he
anything.
actually
God.
Hybrid. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say Hybrid has been losing a lot of smite battles. And maybe we shouldn't be doing objectives if there's another jungler within 1,000 Timos of the objective.
As the ulti comes in on the backside, actually, that was a big Renata ulti.
Unfortunately, the rest of Epsilon does not capitalize on it. Dobbin does run up on them, but I'm not sure that anything will happen. The Gnar does get caught out. The big potential ult, but it only gets 2 men. He gets stunned right before he's able to ult. Hybrid carry could be in trouble. The Samira is unanswered in the middle, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The Nax
They're
is
just
too
way too
big.
far behind. Oh my, Graves just flashed forward. Quadra kill, pentakill coming in for Dobbin.
Dobbin, there's no way he
He's
gets
gonna
it.
go for it. Oh,
Hook's going in trying to help and he dies. Dobbin looking for somebody to carry him through the wave. The Zillion giving him the speed up so he can run through. But unfortunately for Dobbin, no pentakill for him today. But a second kill does go over to the side of Ashen Empire because Hook is such a good teammate. He was trying to help out his Nassus.
got a little too carried away and decided to just give his life for his friend. I respect it.
Yeah, definitely. That's team player behavior. Really went for it. But so far, one thing I want to note is that the Volibear hybrid has 100% kill participation. Definitely, you can see and feel the impact from what he's been doing throughout the game. He's just been at the right places, and sure, he's behind 40 CS on the Graves, but for 12 KP, I think you take that every single time.
Yeah, he's got 100% KP at this point in the game. It's been a really impactful pick. And if you think about it, whenever Dorado team fight, Samira wants to get in front so that she can block those Renata ultis. But if she does that, she immediately gets dove onto by hybrid carry, and they just can't kill him fast enough
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
able
The
to
Volley Bear and
punish.
Ashes, two champions that the Samir does not want to be next to him. You get stunned, you get withered, and you get popped. So yeah, it's pretty hard. I mean, the Samira here, you're like, yeah, you know, she's not able to really do much here. She can't play from the back. She can't go in. What do you do here, Samir? You're pretty homeless. But I could say that about every champion on Ashen. None of them really are having a great time this game. And the Graves has doubled down on the lethality build. I wonder what lethality item he will build next.
I really hope that he doesn't go for lethality. I hope he goes for something that's a little more scaly, so maybe like a Lord Doms or something
Yeah, I mean, I could see a Lord Doms. I can also see him building
that can
Collector.
take care of.
So I don't
Yeah, I
know
hope
anymore.
that he's not building Collector.
Yes,
No.
the sign of a griefer ADC building Collector, and it does. It
Oh
also
no.
applies when it's in the jungle.
He, he can't do any damage to this Volley Bear, but Volley Bear can do
Yeah,
plenty
look
of
at Volley
damage
Bear
to
just ignoring the damage. I mean, what does it matter? Volley Bear's just gonna follow you. Is he actually gonna kill him? Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, just what can you do? They're
Oh,
jumping on the Nautilus, but this is a tanky Nautilus. Nothing's gonna happen. I think Nautilus
yeah,
is gonna
Volley
walk
Bear is
away here.
gonna walk.
This is potentially a really big Renata angle. Oh,
Oh, good block.
actually blocks it pretty well there. Volley Bear actually could be in big trouble here, but only a one-man knockup. The Zillion does go down. The Volley Bear is not killed fast enough. Never mind, he does go down. He is revived. Nats did stay in the bot lane, so
No, he's just chilling bot lane.
oh, he almost took the Gnar with him. Pretty grief fight from the side of Epsilon, kind of unnecessary. Um, I mean, they had already gone in on the Volley Bear. I think maybe you back off once you see the Renata ult get stopped there. I think that was really the only chance you had of winning, because your Volley Bear was pretty weak. But some good Samira ults, and Epsilon is, they finally lose the team fight.
Yeah, and really, unfortunately for Ashen, they don't get much out of this because there was no wave setup prior to the play. They kind of just all ran out at that play.
Yeah.
So they don't punish with much. They don't get very much gold from the play. They just get a bunch of kills, which I guess is good for morale.
Yeah, and the Nasus, I mean, now he's finished his Dead Man's Plate, an item that Coffee would not be happy to see. But ultimately, I like it. I guess, get some more movement speed. You want to get in there. It's not the worst item ever, I guess. But he's pretty farmed up. Let's do a Nasus stack check. 789 Nasus stacks.
Yeah, he's absolutely massive. And if you see this guy show up in a team fight, you better run away. They had a hard time killing Hybrid in the last fight. Just wait until you see this Nasus come in with as much armor as he has right now and as much damage as he has as well.
I do want to give it up to the Samira for building LDR second. So, someone that is a good builder. They jump onto the Gnar, who is pretty squishy in his little baby form. Gnar is going to run away, but they're going to stay on him, forcing him to transform. And Hybrid just does not care. It's a big fight. He jumps in, and the Renata ult is going to come in. I'm not sure it's going to hit anybody. Graves does not get hit by it. Can Dorado keep chasing? And they do jump in for the stun. Hybrid does have a revive on him. The Samira goes in, but nothing happens because all of the things we mentioned before. I think that'll just be game.
Triple kill.
Yeah, big triple kill from the Samira. Definitely the champion we expect to get triple kills.
Yeah, Renata
around
popping
here.
off apparently as support Lucian and support Renata doing very well this game.
Yeah, and Nash is just, tanking the tower here. Doesn't really care. The TP coming in from Zillion to be able to push up.
Oh my.
Nash is almost one-shotting the tower. Three-shotting, but still pretty good,
GG.
And I think that's just game for Dorado Gaming Epsilon, who played a very clean match, and Ashen Empire, who looked completely outclassed by their opponents. This was a pretty rough match for Ashen Empire, and for their sake, I hope that they can just kind of shake it off. I think this is the type of game you just just forget about and go into the next game fresh if you're them. But if you're Epsilon, you're feeling really good about this game. You know that you were able to outmaneuver your opponent in macro, and you're happy with your win.
Of course, Epsilon should be really happy with this win. Their draft looked a little bit weird, but once Volibear started making things happen early, hybrid carry just kind of doing what his name has said. He carries the early game so hard that it makes it difficult for Ashen to do almost anything. As you can see, damage charts pretty even. Hybrid doing the most damage on the team, even though he went the Kim Tank build.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, the post graph is still broken, but we get some information from these. We don't have a pretty chart here, but we're gonna go on a short break while we get ready for the next game. We'll get loaded in, and we will be back as soon as draft starts. All right, we're getting started here on this game 2 draft between Dorado Gaming Epsilon and Ashen Embers. We see the Gangplank band coming through here once again, and I am joined by Mr. Isle once more. What do you think about this? These bands so far. Oh, there we go. We see the Volibear band coming through here. Scared of what the Volibear will do to them again.
Yeah, Volibear is maybe the strongest jungler on the patch at the current moment. He's about to get gutted in the next patch, I'm sure. But as of right now, Volibear super strong, just super able to carry out early game. As we saw last game, it's very hard to counter. So good to get that off the table.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the U.GG stats, I mean, there's literally no champion that has plus 50% win rate against the Volibear. At least last time I checked, it might have changed in the past few days, but Volibear is just ridiculously giga broken. Definitely a B1 jungler at the moment, but it's a good idea to get rid of it. Get rid of Hybrid's comfort picks. Hybrid has been a he's always been an anchor for Epsilon, either the previous iterations or now. He's a heavy impact early game jungler. Always provides for his teammates and always shows up. So I think if you're Ashen and you want to win, maybe it's a good idea to target his pool instead. Although I'm not too sure you can really ban him out.
3 bans coming out against King Mike, and a sneaky little Zillion ban there as Hybrid Carry also had 2 champions banned away from him. Not sure what the first pick is going to be here. Probably something that can be kind of.
I mean, the Samir is open, right? We can get maybe the Samir from Dorado. Maybe they'll use it a little differently. Wait, never mind the Bard.
Hey.
Do we think we're gonna get a Bard B1? I hope not.
Hooked on Flays has been talking about how much he loves Bard, so we will see. He's been spamming it in solo queue. As I think that's going through. That's happening.
Wow, we see the Bard. Ain't no way, boy. Well, I guess we're seeing the B1 Bard. We get the Draven R1. Maybe? I don't know.
Draven R1. It would be an interesting pick, especially with things that are just so hard to punish, are still up and ready for the Bard, but they do pick it in. And Viego also.
The Viego, the Draven. Maybe we're going for comfort here. I mean, Viego's, pretty standard jungle pick, but Draven definitely maybe what you might want to call an ego pick sometimes. Definitely a champion that you want to dominate in lane with. One might call it a Manny pick. But the Ezreal, I'm not sure Ezreal is a great answer to Draven. Doesn't Draven just stomp Ezreal?
Draven does well into Ezreal, but it depends on how well the Ezreal is able to play the lane. Also, it depends on what support we see. If they go for something like a Nami, it would be pretty bad for Ezreal, but if they go for something that's engaged, Ezreal can just kind of use his E, go away from Draven, and ultimately it just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal...
Whatever lane.
Yeah, an Ezreal Bard duo, I mean, might be pretty aggressive. The Wukong coming through here, definitely a flex pick here for Ashen. I mean, for Dorado. And I know Wukong isn't as dominant as he was in the past few patches. I still think he's strong. I think that especially into Draven, he's a pretty annoying champion. But the Lissandra answer here, coming in with the R3 blind pick for the mid laner, it looks like they're saving the top lane counter pick for Mr. King of Mike.
I'm fine with the Lissandra pick here. It opens up the comp just a little bit more to where you can pick support that doesn't need to do quite hard engage. It also opens up your top laner for not having to pick hard engage as well. So the Lissandra pick to round out is pretty decent, although I do want to see who they're going to answer with in the mid lane, because normally artillery mages are pretty decent into Lissandra.
Yeah, and it looks like Mr. King Mike is going to get 5 banned here because, I mean, who else do you ban? The support. The Ornn band coming through here.
Which means that they're not looking for something like Mordekaiser on top side. They're also leaving up the fact that you can still go Wukong top at the moment.
There's really a 5 ban against Mr. King Mike. But the Rakan coming through here, they're definitely going for an aggressive bot lane. It's pretty interesting. I mean, the Lissandra pick, I don't know how to feel about it, but let's see what Dorado responds with. Let's see what pick they have into Lissandra.
This could be. I'd like to see an artillery mage, but we are seeing the Gnar about to be locked in. It's a decent blind pick at the moment. He's extremely strong, but no, they're
And
actually
the
going for
signature
the Mort.
Mordekaiser pick. Dob is the most played champion at the moment. Very good on it. I know before his signature champion used to be the Cho'Gath.
This opens up AD mid.
Wait, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way we're getting a Yasuo.
I would be shocked to see Yasuo. I wouldn't mind actually like an Akshan this game.
A Swain. Oh, actually, I like the Swain here. I like the Swain.
Yes, Swain would be very
Swain
cool.
is good here. Ashen does not have great range. Lissandra does not have the burst to kill the Swain. And Draven's not going to have a good time when Swain has the Leandries. Wukong, Swain, and Mordekaiser trying to kill you. I like the Swain pick here. I like it. I don't know what Ashen can pick to really round out this comp to win. Gnar.
If we R5 Gnar, I don't have very much to say. It's all right into Mordekaiser, and really later in the game, he can make impact in team fight. It looks like they went basically for full team fight again.
Yep.
But with Draven, their team is very short ranged, and normally Draven wants something that can kind of help them out in the backline, but they have like 0 peel. So
Yes.
if Draven gets dove on once, he's just dead.
Yes, this Swain is I like the Swain. I can't stress enough how much I like this champion pick here. Like you said, the short range, the lack of mobility from the Draven, even from the Lissandra, who doesn't have anything else besides her dash. Once she dashes into the Swain, what is she gonna do? I think that they're gonna have a hard time killing the Swain. I think that he's just gonna have a field day healing off of all of them. There's some hidden synergy between the Swain and the Bard. Swain gets ulted in a good angle by the Bard, and that's a free Zanyas for him to keep staying alive. So I'm excited for this match, but I'll be honest, I think this is just going to be Dorado 2-0.
Yeah, with the matchups that happened in the last game as well, I don't see that the Gnar will be making too much impact on top side. Obviously, you don't have the Gnosis threat anymore, so there's less incentive to try to keep him from scaling. But there is a lot more gank potential with the Mordekaiser. He has the pullback. There's also just tons of team fighting with Epsilon's comp. Swain is almost unkillable in this game, so I'm saying that Epsilon will win this, but I might be biased as I am a part of the Dorado organization.
Yeah, we're always biased here, but I do think, at least, last draft, I gave it to Ashen. I thought that they had a better draft. Obviously, Epsilon executed their draft a lot better. They played a lot better. And now Ashen is coming in with a much, maybe not much, but definitely a worse draft in my opinion when compared to Epsilon's here. And after seeing, kind of the difference in gameplay last match, I do think it's going to be an Epsilon win. And that's me, trying to be objective, but, we can always be proven wrong. That's the beauty of high plat tournaments, right? That, anything can happen. But we will go on a short break while the game loads in and while the spectator cooldown does go down. And Mr. Arch, I agree, Kongi would have picked Yasuo into Lissandra because he had Wukong. But at this point of the game, it would have also been banned. So that's pretty much it. We will be right back. Thank you, everybody that's joined in right now. And we'll be back once the delay is done. Thank you.
Take a seat, you cannot. All I know the flow. No advice to the knee, you cannot manage. They what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat, you'll be a fan when I start rapping way. I'll have your fucking I'm known as I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Optimum. So I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted, can't copy, printed, can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm lit. Persistent, spoke it into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Find me in the corner of the room, not ready to resume, 'cause like I'm taking, don't wanna be alone, but I'm not in the zone. I'm looking for somebody, I'm looking for somebody.
All right, welcome back. We're getting started here on this game two between Dorado Gaming Epsilon and Ashen Embers. Once again, I am joined by my co-caster, Mr. You Love Me, aka Kyle. He's my color caster for today.
Yes. So excited. Game 1 went really into Dorado's favor. Oh,
Ooh, a free stack for the Swain. You always take that free HP from those early trades. Great, you're really happy with that if you're the Swain. And one thing I want to notice is that the Swain opted into the Ghost, Cosmic Drive, or Fleet. I forget. I think
Phase rush.
Phase Rush, right? Phase Rush combo, making him really annoying to deal with. He's going to be zooming around team fights. The Lysandra has opted into the spell book. I just realized that
Right.
Queen Thomas is Tommy 2-time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked at my
Uh,
friends list between the games, and just to make sure, because I had a feeling, and yeah, it's just Tommy 2-time.
oh man.
Senor Thomas
No,
of the second.
Thomas,
The
Tommy two
second.
damage. Feels bad.
Oh no.
I don't actually like I don't like Spellbook on Lysandra. I think that either Aftershock or Electrocute are just so much better. I'm gonna be interested to see how he pulls it
Oh,
off.
unlucky that there was not a route there for the free HP. I love getting HP on Swain.
Yes, Swain is indeed
Never mind.
a
He
very
got the
fun
HP.
champion.
Getting the
As,
stacks in there. Uh, and Dobbin getting maybe zoned out a little bit. To be honest, I'm not sure you use the Q to farm there. The Gnar was isolated. Personally, I would have, gotten that big isolation Q on the Gnar. But I'm also a griefer, so take that as you will.
Yeah. Dobbin's gonna have a bit of more of a rough time in the early game with Mordekaiser. His mid game is going to be quite different. You're actually looking to group up quite a bit more than you are on the Gnosis, whereas Gnosis you can just kind of sit up top and your team can make things happen.
Yeah.
Without the volley bear here this game, there's a lot less early pressure on the side of Epsilon, but their mid game is absolutely insane with the Ezreal, with the Wukong, and also with this Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Epsilon has insane team fighting. And I do want to say one thing. Oh, got the big stun there. Wow. One thing I did want to say is that Dobbin, I think, has his pick of people he wants to take to Brazil. I think that he enjoys 1v1ing a lot of these champions. And, be it even the Lysandra or the Viego, I don't think he will mind too much once he gets going. The Gnar dropping a ward, seeing that the Wukong path down, um, clearing that ward there. Both junglers, I think, are just going to be looking to farm until the mid game team fights.
Yeah, essentially both junglers want to wait until they hit that level 6 power spike. But what happens here, Dobbin's wave is actually near his turret, whereas the bot lane is not. But we have a gank. Hybrid here. Oh.
Actually, this Viego could be in trouble. Never mind, Hybrid carry is the one in trouble. Hybrid's going to get jumped on, and Hybrid does go down. Hooked could be next, actually. He's going to get hit by the Lysandra passive. He's getting jumped on right now by the... Yep, and that's a big 2-0 for Epsilon. I think the Hybrid... I don't know, does survive there, but yeah, that was pretty rough start for Epsilon. I don't really think that was necessary.
No, it wasn't necessary. And what I was going to say is that Dobbin had his wave near his turret, so there was no pressure from Viego. But whenever that gank come in mid, I think, honestly, you don't even have to roam up. You don't have to look to fight that because you're looking to literally get to the mid game.
Yeah.
And without your ultimate, you are not as strong as Viego because he can just auto-attack, reset, auto-attack, reset, and it's just... difficult to fight him this early in the game.
Yeah, I wanted to say that one big thing is that it wasn't necessary. I mean, the way that the Swain played that, it was like a Swain that had ult. I think that could have been a good look if that was a level 6 skirmish, but it wasn't. I think pre-6 Swain's damage is pretty front loaded. I think his cooldowns aren't exactly as low as they are later in the game. So once you drop your rotation, you're kind of a sitting duck. I think you just walk away there. He was gone, but he forced the fight, and it paid off for Ashen Embers. But we'll have to see how Epsilon, approaches the game now. They are down about 1,500 gold now. But it's not all doom and gloom. One of the kills did go over to the Rakan, so it's not the worst case scenario. Although it does put you a little behind early.
There is going to be a lot of pressure now on Epsilon, on hybrid carry, I should say, to kind of make himself hit level 6 fast. Once Viego gets these early kills, it's very difficult for them to keep up it's very difficult for Hybrid to keep up as far as the farm goes because Viego's going to be sitting on power spike items, whereas you see Wukong just chilling on a Sheen. He's not
Yeah.
going to clear quite as fast.
One thing I want to say is that this Viego, I think, is opting into the Kraken Slayer, which I am not sure is too good here. I think you want to survive fights and absorb somebody's body. I'm not sure that there's anybody that you're really going to be popping fast enough or fighting long enough for it to really pay off.
Yeah, and another thing with that fight is that Swain actually opted to go for Phase Rush, which is a fine rune to take, but it does mean that you do less damage early as now there is a gank coming in the top side.
Yes, Tommy two-time instant. No, sorry, King Mike instantly flashing away, having just earlier burned his ult. Could have lived, I think, if he still had his ult. He doesn't need a flash. He gets jumped on, just ult him away and keep running.
Yeah, I think that most of Nar's ultis have come out just as poke so that he's able to kind of get it back in without being under pressure. As you see Jasko kind of walking through the mid, trying to keep pressure on the map as much as he can, keep his mid laner safe as well. Gonna drop a ward.
Yeah, I mean, game is going pretty slow. I mean, once again, I think it'll get to the point where the Gnar is unable to match the Mordekaiser in the side lane, similar to last game, and I think that Epsilon is not too worried just yet. They scale pretty well. They have the Ezreal that can be a really big late game menace. They try to jump onto the Ezreal. Ezreal does flash away before he gets ulted. The big 2-man stun from the Bard, but it's not going to do anything because you're just trying to survive here.
Very good stun there from Bard, keeping away. I don't know if Creatine needed to flash. It was possible that he was thinking that Lissandra could flash onto him, but she does have the Ignite at the
I
moment.
think he was expecting an instant Lissandra frozen tomb, so I don't think he wanted to risk that because I do think he dies if he gets stunned there, especially since Lissandra does have Ignite on her.
Dobbin getting to have fun in top lane. Not much happening in his favor at the moment, as now he's going to get gone on by King Mike. King Mike going to get ulted.
Does Dobbin have shield here? No, he doesn't, and he goes down. I don't know why you ult there. This game. Oh, big stun from Hooked on Flays. Dog creates, and he's just gonna walk away. Hooked gets the big angle, and nothing's gonna happen here.
As now, Hybrid Carry is here. He's level 6. This is a bit of a power spike, but not going to be able to find it.
Those acts is actually saving them, but the big 2-man stun, and oh my god, this fight is gonna go in. Never mind, it's not. The Viego got the resets, and this fight is actually gonna go in favor of Ashen. This Viego just got big and pretty rough right now for Epsilon. We're down 1-5 in terms of kills.
Yeah, pretty rough there. I think Hybrid went a little too far forward. Used his ulti. It was a big stun. Hooked has been finding some pretty great stuns at the moment.
Yeah.
But just not able to capitalize quite enough. They aren't quite as strong as the enemy team there. So
Yeah,
it's
this
an unfortunate fight.
Yeah, this is actually pretty rough champion for them to get fed. I mean, he's gonna go Kraken Slayer. I think now that he's ahead of the curve, this damage build is gonna pay off. I mean, it's a glass cannon build, but it's fine when you're so much stronger than your opponents and they're not gonna kill you that quickly. I was thinking that it wasn't maybe the best choice if it was an even game, but this Viego is looking to set the tempo of the match and really, take charge of the game. And I think this build can help him accelerate his lead.
Yeah, Viego really had no home in the draft at the beginning, but now that he's fed, he's definitely got a place to stay. It really was dependent upon how well Viego was going to be able to play the early game, and I don't know if he's played the early game well or if Dog has just played the early game bad, but it looks like there's maybe a dive coming in.
It looks like they trying to dive. They actually might, but the Mordekaiser does not have Brazil. King Mike getting that poke in that we've talked about with the big ult. But ultimately, nothing's going to come of it. Dobbin does push the way forward, and that could have been pretty bad if he got pulled.
I think Dobbin's actually rushing a Rylai's at the moment.
Could be. I think that's a pretty good call. I mean, once the Gnar gets pulled in, I think he will, it's going to go pretty rough for him. Give him that staking power he needs.
Now, there is one saving grace that Ezreal is up in farm, quite a bit of farm to be honest, and he's also got a kill, so they have somebody that will be able to reach into this mid-game probably around the 15-minute mark and kind of carry them out. Although, I'm not sure. I think he might be going for the Essence Reaver build, which is going to be just fine in this game.
Yeah, Dobbin getting spaced out pretty well right now by the Gnar, missing a lot of abilities and ultimately using them on the wave to kind of ruin his wave state. Ult misses onto the Draven. Wonder if they're gonna look for a fight here. Probably not the best idea since the dragon is up.
Well,
And they do jump on the Draven. I mean, they get his flash out. I guess that's not bad.
mhm. Yeah, Draven flashing away was kind of scared of what the pressure was looking like, as the rest of his team is here, so they're gonna be able to secure the
And two
dragon.
dragons going over to Ashen Embers, and they now have a win con with the Aztec Dragon. Um, I think they're in a pretty good spot. It'll make the Gnar a big menace in his mini form. The moment he lands a boomerang, potential big team wide slows for
Yeah,
big engages.
Epsilon definitely want this Dragon Soul as well. Think about it, with Ezreal having his Qs and also Hextech Dragon, it would be really good. Ashen are struggling to figure out Hex Gates. I don't
Yeah.
know what just happened.
Yeah, they were experimenting with the hex gates. I don't know. But let's see. Okay, it looks like Dobbin has his Rylai's in, so double Rylai's might be redundant, but if you're fighting in different parts of the fight, it could be pretty good, just to apply the slow to as many people as possible. But it does make it so that if the Swain doesn't really want to rush Rylai's, he doesn't have to.
Yep, and we do see that the
Oh.
Viego is down here, but Dog
I'm not sure
very
that's worth
slowly
it
playing
for the yeah, for the
besides
support,
Dorado.
for the no, for the support. I mean, he's
Mhm.
walking in, took a lot of damage trying to bait, but what are the Bard and Ezreal going to bait into? Are they going to E in? I'm not really sure.
Man, I actually love what I just saw there. Dookie threw his ulti or threw his W into the brush to be able to check for his bot lane. I like that. That shows that there's a lot of communication going on and they're thinking of each other a whole ton. Is now King Mike has
Ulting
to jump
again.
away.
Yep. Making sure he's safe by ulting, and it will be fine. I do think that the Swain Vision of Empire there did lull them into a bit of a false sense of security because the Viego was still there. Thankfully, Epsilon did not act upon the belief that he was not there. Oh, we see a fight here. And he does take him to Brazil. Will Nar be able to survive here? Will he get ult fast enough? He's trying to kite for his life. But unfortunately for him, Rylai's makes it almost impossible for him to kite. And I think that's just kind of how the rest of the lane is going to go from now on.
Dobbin is the Brazil master. Definitely a masterful Mordekaiser player. Loves this champion a lot.
Yes, he really outplayed King Mike there.
Really outplayed him with the Rylai slow. But this is something that Dobbin has always been good at. He's always
Yeah.
really good at these.
Dobbin could be in trouble here. I don't think. I'm not sure if flashing there is actually going to help him. He's going to die anyways, I think. Yep. I think you. I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't work. But once again, the Viego is even bigger than he was before, and that's going to be a problem for Epsilon. But then again, on the bright side, he is the only really fat person, and he is squishy. So if you can pop him early, or if Dobbin can get his act together and 1v1 him in Brazil, or at least buy enough time, I think that Epsilon is not all is not lost for them just yet.
Absolutely not. Ezreal already on his Essence Reaver, which is great. You're gonna have a lot more poke in that bot lane. Maybe gonna be able to convert it into something like a kill.
Yeah.
As Hybrid has just had zero angles to play this mid game. Is now they know exactly where he is. Ooh.
And big, well, not big because it didn't stop it, but if it would have stopped it, that would have been big. But never mind, it had already crashed.
Yeah, Hook tried there, but not quite going to be able to find the timing. It's fine. Doesn't get the turret, so there's still the first turret possibilities up for Dorado. There's a lot of ways to make gold in this game still for Dorado. So they're not out of this at all yet.
Yeah, they're only down to 2,000-ish gold or so. I mean, the CS is pretty consistent throughout the map. It's a pretty slow-paced game once again. I do think they do need to make sure they have a plan for the Viego right now, and I hope for their sake that they do have one. But the Hextech Dragon is coming up pretty soon. They're gonna jump onto the.
Hybrid.
Oh, but he gets the big
Oh.
ult off, managing to get them to waste the ult from the Rakan. Lissandra looking for maybe a dive. Swain
This
isn't in
is-
position, and he doesn't have.
Yeah,
Oh, never mind.
Dobbin's
And I
the only
think
one that could have joined.
yeah, Ezreal is not there, and I'm not sure why this Gnar is looking for a fight against Okay, I guess. I mean, he's gonna survive. Nothing's really gonna come of it. But this game is starting to look harder and harder for Epsilon after not being able to capitalize on that fight. Dookie unable to join the fight because he doesn't have TP.
Yeah, not able to join the fight, and also just kind of pushing in the mid wave. Thomas did miss out on about 2 waves there, but it really didn't matter because he was able to roam down, get his team a kill. Drayden still has only cashed out once this game, so he's not very far ahead. Is now
Ezreal
CT
is
coming in.
here, but looks like Mordekaiser is not gonna
Oh,
bother to join in. They're getting the pick onto the Mr. Thomas
not gonna be
2
able to get
times,
him.
and he's gonna get away. Never mind. He doesn't get away. He doesn't get away here. Are they going to fight for the dragon? Are they even going to be able to fight for it? They get the ult. It doesn't hit anybody. They walk away. The dragon goes over, but they do manage to get a pick on the Lissandra for their
I
efforts.
think they also get mid turret here because there
Yes.
was no rotation. Oh, please don't all go towards the Rift Herald.
Are they all? They're all going for the Rift Herald. I'm not.
It's whatever. It's you could pressure off this Viego pretty easily with the 3 champions that you had, but opting to go for the safer route, just getting it back in on Dookie, grabbing up an objective so that they can have more pressure later. You really do have to have something to hope for. Is now
Oh, never
Viego
mind.
coming over. Ooh, probably
Hybrid pretty homeless today, and Hybrid is going to go down. He doesn't even manage to get the dragon. I mean, the Rift Herald for his brave sacrifice. It is all for naught. And heal coming out from the Sandra because she doesn't need it because they're spell book. But yeah, this game is okay. Not now. It's pretty rough for Epsilon. Looks like better drafts aren't winning today. So
Yeah,
for next game, if this goes to the next game, Epsilon knows what to do and just draft solo queue.
Yeah, a lot happened to make this game kind of go this way so far. I will say it's not quite over yet, as Creatine is fairly well farmed. He's also got 2 big kills. I think he got a shutdown from Lissandra earlier. So really, if you play through the back of Creatine, this Swain pick is still high value. Also, Mordekaiser's almost impossible to 1v1 for most of the champions. Maybe Gnar and Viego can 1v1 him, but I don't think any other champion will be able to kill him in
Yeah.
Brazil.
I do want to say I think that that our friend Wukong is pretty dunzo here. I don't think he will be able to get himself back into the game too well. He's going to be an ult bot, and I'd say he needs to go for a beefier build.
Incoming, as now they know that Jasko's up here, but they don't know where the Viego is at the moment. Gonna be able to ult on
Oh, a little bit of
no.
anti-synergy, but it doesn't, or it does matter.
Dog.
Dog.
Mike doesn't have Mega yet.
Yep, this fight's going to go pretty well for Epsilon, I'd imagine, even though Hybrid is pretty low. They just can't kill. Here we're seeing what we're talking about. They can't kill the Swain fast enough. Blaze could be in trouble. But no, they just can't kill him fast enough. And then let's see if Dobbin has it in him to kill this this Viego by himself.
Dobbin has the dog in him, apparently, is now.
Oh my god. Dobbin 1v1 the Viego, and okay, well never mind.
Hey.
It's not all doom and gloom for Epsilon. I think Epsilon is they're back in control of the game, I would say.
Yeah, Dobbin absolutely massive with that shutdown now. He is going to be a big part. The solo lanes, really, you have the gold in all the right places for Epsilon right now. It's unfortunate that your Wukong is pretty far behind, but you have the gold on your solo laners. You have the gold on your AD carry. It's not looking horrid anymore. It was looking pretty doom and gloom, but now we're pretty all right.
Yeah, pretty big fight. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Nard going in without Rage Bar was pretty rough for him. And once again, we're seeing the lack of damage for the Swain. The Swain there was just able to just kind of just lolly around. He didn't even without Conquer, he's just healing so much. And the Rakan, Lissandra, and Gnar not exactly super high damage burst champions. So the Swain just kind of was on his way. And if we see, Epsilon approach these fights in a way where Dobbin takes care of the Viego, who is there to take care of the Swain?
Yep, and Muramana now is complete for the Ezreal, so that's going to be a big power spike heading into this next fight. I think the next fight will be over the Dragon. There is a Rift Herald in the pocket of Viego, but I don't know how well they're going to be able to utilize this because Ezreal has just been clearing out every single mid wave before it even hits.
Yep. Let's see how this fight goes right now. I mean, both teams are setting up. Lissandra is top, and I think that Dobbin's mistake so far has been not being at objectives in the most timeliest of manners. And I think that if he helps his team push into the river, while Tommy two time is. Oh, they see the engage going down here. The big Ezreal ult, the Rakan trying to counter engage, but nothing's gonna happen. They forced him to back off. I think that's a pretty good trade if you're.
Yeah, you
Wait,
still
wait, the
have the
Viego
upper
kind of
armor.
running
Ooh,
it down there.
Viego.
Viego gets picked off before the fight. I'm not really sure what he's doing there. King Mike is potentially in trouble. Forces the flash out of Tommy two time, but that will secure the dragon for Dorado Gaming Epsilon. King Mike could get caught out here.
Dookie continuing to want this. I don't think that Nar does
Oh
enough
no,
damage
I
to
think
kill
they
him.
need to make sure to get the dragon and just leave it at that. That was a great play of your Epsilon. And Viego's squishy build is not paying off. I don't think he's playing the game how he should be. I don't think he realizes that he's not the Divine Sunder beefier Viego right now. That he is Glass Cannon, and he cannot be disrespecting his enemy team like that.
I think just being found by Flay there is now Flay looking to go forward. Not going to be able to find the stun though.
Yeah, hooked going in, forcing the Lissandra to back off. Lissandra, not too much value this game so far. Unable to stop the tower. And is she gonna eat a stack? Oh, are they gonna take her down? They do
wow.
manage to get the Lissandra ult out. Oh, forcing both the Zanyas and the Lissandra ult. Oh wait, wait. Dobbin has the proto belt. Wow, I did
Yes.
not realize that.
I love this build actually. Mordekaiser going Proto Belt is so slept on, especially whenever you're into multiple ranged champions like
Yeah.
it is this game. It's so valuable to be able to catch up. There's a lot of good stacks on the passive. It gives you some arm or magic pen. So I enjoy this pick. I enjoy the pickup here. He doesn't really need to heal very much. His
Yeah.
W passive is good enough. This
There's
game.
not, yeah, like there's not really that much like burst damage that he needs to immediately heal from. I think that the Conqueror, like you said, does enough for him. Although generally I do really like the true damage and the healing from it. There's not really anybody that he needs the true damage for. So I think he'll be just fine with this item. He's really sticky. I mean, he has Rylai's, he has Proto Belt. That's pretty rough to get away from if you're.
Oh,
King
big
Mike.
ulti here.
I think Mike could be in trouble here, but I'm not sure how much longer he can kite for. Dobbin, actually, never mind, is going to be the one in trouble.
Yep, Riftmaker would make him look a little more healthy, but this should just go over to
Wait.
Dobbin.
Dobbin does go down
Oh.
here, but King Mike will get taken down also. Dobbin, I'm not sure if his shield had come out just yet. Hybrid could be in trouble here. Looks like Viego has been spotted and nothing will happen from this potential pick. Dobbin getting a little greedy there, and maybe Riftmaker saves him there, but they're going to jump onto the Lissandra.
It's a little risky for Dorado here.
This could be a big throw fight for Dorado. Dog Dookie. Oh, yeah, he does eat the Bartle like we said he should, but it's not going to matter. He's just going to go down. That was a pretty grief look from Epsilon, and they are properly punished for it.
Yeah, just looking to make a little bit too much happen there. We already know where Viego,
Oh, my.
Khan, and everybody else are. Is now they're starting up the Baron.
Getting the
does
TP.
have TP.
We're getting the TP in from Nar, but I don't think they'll be able to stop this. I think this will just be a Baron over to Ashen Embers. And, I guess, we're seeing hybrid give and hybrid takes. He had an amazing game last game. I mean, he's not having the best game this time around, having a bit of a rough time. I think it's really just a lot of decision making that is the issue right now, and hopefully, he can shore that up a little bit so that he can lead his team to victory like he did last time.
Draven has a ton of stacks right now. You really don't want to give the guy a kill, as he is close to his IE for his third item. It looks like Ezreal is actually going for Cyrilda's Grudge for his third item. That's
Dobbin
gonna do
could
a
be
lot
in
of
trouble
damage.
here. Sorry to cut you off, but the Rakan does go in. He does break the blast cone after taking the Hextech portals. Never mind, he's not in any trouble, but Dragon setup time is coming up soon. Epsilon does have all of their members here on the bot side of the map, so they'll be able to exert control over the river better than Ashen Embers will.
Yeah, you've got about a minute 23 on that Dragon timer. Dobbin's going to have to back and match up on that Lissandra's push. I will say that Lissandra's TP will probably be more valuable than Dobbin's. However, there are no QSSs on the side of Ashen. So if Dobbin's able to get himself onto somebody like the Viego or maybe even the Draven, it could turn the tide of the fight, but we will have to see.
Yeah, and that ward right there in the river bush could end up having a lot of value if Dobbin gets a good flank off. But um Ashen using their Baron to get that cryo in the mid lane, 40 seconds left for the Hextech Soul. And Epsilon will want to make sure that Ashen do not grab this.
As now
Oh,
Dookie.
unlucky miss.
Ooh.
And they jump onto King Mike. We're gonna get a big fight here, maybe. And the Rakan tries to go in, but I think this fight will go in the favor of Epsilon. The big three-man route from the Swain.
Oh my
I think maybe
goodness.
he
Tommy is really far ahead here.
yeah, he jumped onto Tommy for some reason. Not instead of helping Dobbin. Dobbin getting the big three-man, but I think the Viego will just be able to clean them up. I think this fight split from Epsilon was not how you approach this at all. I think that the Swain jumping over the wall instead of staying with Dobbin pretty much just lost in the game. Um, oh, but never mind. Dog
Oh,
Creatine
good
is
go.
just too good, I guess.
Creatine can continue being annoying here. Yeah.
No, ultimately, it'll just go over to Ashen. But that was a pretty big grief from the Swain. I can't emphasize enough how much of a grief play that was. If he had stayed with Dobbin, they wipe them and they just get a free dragon. But the Swain saw it more fit to use his team fight ult to 1v1 Alessandra.
Oh. As
Yeah, we're getting some.
disconnection goes out.
Yeah, so we have a bit of a DC. We'll see how long this takes. But yeah, I mean that fight was pretty bad. Not a fan. Big grief from the Swain from the early stopwatch to the flashing over the wall. I gotta say that fight was pretty much on Swain, and I think if he had position like he should have, which is going forward in the let's actually rewatch it. We have a bit of time. Should be pretty soon. We'll speed up a little bit.
I mean, you've got Dobbin in prime position here. He basically is exactly where you would want him to be, kind of in the middle, able to fight basically everyone, and then he gets a big ulti.
Yeah.
There's just a lot that goes into this team fight that really, as you can see, I mean, we were very close to having basically a game-turning fight there. It would have been maybe it would have turned this game maybe into a winning game for Dorado if they find that fight. Just unfortunate play, not executing properly, and we're now sitting in a pause.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the
Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I woke awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes.
Yeah. I think that they actually ran out of time. Don't like to see it, actually. Nara's back. Yeah, so essentially now, if they weren't a 3v5, you would just want your laners to stick inside of the different lanes and try to keep the waves out. But since they are now just, you hate to see it actually in this 4v5 situation, but I will say that they are pretty far ahead, and Rakan rounds out the comp, but he does not make what makes this comp strong. So they do still have a pretty decent chance against Dorado Epsilon. Yeah, not sure exactly what's going on, but we digress. The game is still on. They are going to be playing it out. This is agreed upon by both teams, so we're just looking at what the game state might be. I think that Baron coming up is going to be there's going to be a lot of team fighting probably going on as Red team really does not want to lose their lead because of this, so they're going to look to team fight with their strong members as much as possible. They're also just going to be looking to keep waves in a decent spot, probably having to play a little more suboptimally than what they would like. But with the current circumstances, they're probably going to do what is best. King Mike pulled back. Yeah. The Draven is indeed quite leveled up. They've been sitting him in the mid lane as now they start up the Baron. This is going to be well known. Swain using his W. Ooh. He's going to get pulled forward. Dobbin using his stopwatch just to make sure there's no trade. Hybrid Q. Yeah, Dobbin with an insane E there, just pulling the entire enemy team, and also Crucifix being on the outside there. They could not protect him at all, and he was just left to his own devices.
I guess I muted on accident. So I did not realize I did. But I assure you all that I had some great insight into the game. But the Viego does not have a QSS just yet, so he is liable to get Braziled and have the Elder taken.
Now this is very close. This is pretty stingent, and also Dobbin is now level 18, highest
Oh
level
wait,
in
the
the game.
big Bartle! Oh my god!
Woo! Crucifix flashing away.
With Lissandra going in, but the Swain is just creating too much space. I do think that this fight is going to go over to Epsilon. Dobbin just buying so much time for the backline. I don't think that this oh, never mind actually, but this fight could go in the favor of Ashen. I think the Swain is playing a little too scared, but does force them to back off at the end of the day. Um, once again, the difference here is the Swain. Once again, these fights are going by how confident and how aggressive the Swain is. The Swain here was way too scared for a champion that had Zanya's and has all that healing. Him backing off really did not create the space that the Ezreal needed to free hit his huge Ezreal, might I add, that is just, so much damage. You can't really be doing that if you're the Swain here. You have to create that space. You have to be not scared. Who's gonna kill you? The Lissandra was gone. No one's gonna hard lock you down. You'll be fine.
Ooh. And it's really unfortunate here. Swain doesn't have a TP. Also doesn't have his Zanya's up, so he's not going to be able to go in. They're going to be able to void a little bit of time. Creatine coming over. You don't want this if you're Dorado. You probably need to run away.
Yeah, this actually fight is going to end up really bad. This is the aggressiveness they needed to have earlier, and now they're going in when they don't have the number advantage that they had before. This could be the end of the game, but I think they still should have Baron buff to maybe buy them a little bit of time. But once again, Epsilon not making the best choices and being punished after having just made a really good play.
Dobbin is still there's still a chance that they can win a
Oh,
team
no.
fight, but it's going to be super.
Yeah, I mean
difficult.
the soul with Elder. I mean, it's just so much poke.
Heal coming out by Redemption. Oh,
Yeah, and I
goodness.
think, are they going to go for the end here? And I think they will. I mean, the wave is still pretty far away. Never mind. They're going to back off. And the ult is going to go into thin the wave. It does not hit the wave, but I guess it does some damage, forcing them to run away anyways. They're going to go for the bottom tower. Ashen not being as decisive as they could have been, I think. And, hopefully for them, it doesn't come back to bite them. But they do lift their foot off of Epsilon's throat just a little bit. And we'll see if it, if it pays off.
Yeah, and really what's happening here is that they're going to look to try to go for something like a double inhib. Elder's not going to last for much longer. I think
Yeah,
they've got
Elder-
maybe about a minute left.
Elder, I mean, it's already about halfway done, and they're backing off. I mean, I don't know if this is what you need to do if you're side of Ashen. You need to
Yeah,
take advantage. I mean, what are you setting up for? Baron isn't for 2 more minutes. I guess maybe they're just
Dorado
scared.
has also shown that they can win a team fight. It can happen, and you're going to have all these cooldowns back up. Ghost coming up for Swain. Everything seems to be coming up for Dorado. So, I mean, you want to try to push your advantage as much as possible, but now Ashen, they're going to be put on the back burner, getting off the map. They have the Elder for just like a few more seconds, but
Yes,
they're
Elder
not
is
really
about
getting
to
much
run
out of
out.
it.
Yep, Elder is about 20% left of it, 15ish maybe. And I mean, it's not going to be in time for any play. I think that Epsilon has such good wave clear that one inhib is not going to matter. They just you send the Swain, send the Mordekaiser, instant clear the wave, and just push forward. Epsilon's vision around Baron is cleared out, but I don't think it'll be an issue.
No, they don't mind at the moment. There's a minute left on the Drake. It is going to be kind of hard to get into here because of all the engage, but they're going to have that ward, and they don't know that ward is there.
Oh, so they know they have a good idea of where Ashen is, what they're doing, and I think Dobbin could get a really good flank here if they're going to go for a fight. He get that TP in. I think if you're Epsilon, you look for this fight maybe, but I guess they're just going to back off. And I mean,
Back off.
Yep.
There is a GA coming in for the side. They know that they didn't walk out.
yeah, they know they
That's
didn't
for
walk out. They're going to walk in through river, which is a smart thing to do. They're checking for death pushes, so they are on notice, or they are at least okay. See, look, they're going to see that they're death pushing here, and
Meganar is going to be down for this beginning of the fight. They're going to want to try to engage on this.
yeah, and Epsilon's going to want to push this wave in, and they're in a good spot here. Draven Flash is about to come back up as being pinged by King and Mike, but both teams approaching the game pretty slowly. They're both scared, which I mean, I guess I get it, rightfully so. You don't want to throw. Is Tommy going to jump in here? He is not.
Ooh. Man, you see that claw come out, and you're just terrified to see what's going to happen with it, but nothing going there. As now, this is going to be a tense fight. There's a lot going into this. Vision of Empires used. They're going to know that they're starting up this Baron, and let's see what happens.
Can Lissandra buy enough time? They're just absolutely shredding that Baron, but I think that Epsilon might be able to get a good fight here if they so want to. But ultimately, they're going to get away. Wait, hold on. He's going to jump on somebody, and he takes the Gnar into into Brazil, but the fight's still going on outside. The Swain finally is creating the space needed, and the Draven is forced to flash out. Does get taken down. They are on the Ezreal. Ezreal is still kiting back,
Doing a
and
lot
Ezreal is
of
just
damage
doing
on
way
that
too much
side.
damage. But Ezreal does go down. But what will Tommy Two Time do? The Swain is unkillable. Swain is doing a lot of
Oh
damage
my
in the back end.
God.
Never mind, he does go down. But it is a 3v2. But the strongest member in the Viego is still alive. It is
That was 2 GAs popped.
yeah, 2 for 3, and the GA going down for what was it, the Viego
Both
and the
both
Draven?
Viego
That's
and Draven
I
lost their
mean that is
GA
that's an ace pretty much. If you're
only to Swain, by the way.
yeah, the Swain is just well, again. Imagine the Swain had been doing all of this earlier, and what is Ashen going to do? I mean, hopefully the Swain keeps it in his mind that that Ashen just they can't do anything to him. If he creates the space they need, I mean, look at how desperate they were to kill the Ezreal. Look how hard it was for them to do it, and just keep doing what you're doing. Create that space. You're pretty much unkillable, and you'll be just fine.
I don't know why Viego is actually holding onto his GA here. He could probably collect a completed maul, if he sells out that GA. So, kind of griefing a little bit is now the Elder Dragon. We've got
Yeah.
46 seconds on it. That's going to be his first setup by Ashen, but no waves left for Super Minions. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be the last fight of the game. Man,
Yeah,
this is gonna
pretty
be
high stakes. Really, making a sweat here. Hybrid getting the vision of the Viego. We know where the Viego is. There's no more. Oh wait, hold on. This could be huge. The big two man from Dobbin. He does manage to keep the.
Oh, Dobbin's getting poked.
Oh wait, Dog Dookie potentially losing out. The big stun, but it's not really going to matter, is it? Dog Dookie is just unkillable, and the Viego's going to try to get the reset, but he's not going to get the reset on Dobbin before he dies. He does kill Dobbin, but oh wait, hold on. This fight could go badly for Dorado Gaming Epsilon. Dookie is still getting a lot of health back, but he's going to go down here, and will he be able to win this fight? No, I think that this will go. Wow, this is an ace for Ashen Empire. What a fight. I think that will be game, and I think that we're going to go to game 3. I don't see how Epsilon could really turn this around. I mean,
Crucifix was just able to free hit basically that entire fight. Creatine with a bit of a misstep walking at that Draven, not able to find the poke damage, and Draven just able to run over the entire team fight.
Yeah.
As we will get a game 3. Excitingly, both of these games, while this game felt like it was close, it was pretty stompy for the very beginning. So Epsilon making it close at the end of the game, but still, it was pretty stompy, and that means that both games have been kind of stomps.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. I mean, this game took a lot longer, including the pause time. But Epsilon really just, a throw after throw. I think if they had a more coordinated plan, they win. I mean, even after the rough beginning, I mean, it was just once again, we saw how good the Swain pick was here, even when it was being played like pretty suboptimally. And imagine, the Swain always did what he needed to do every fight. Ashen Empire had no chance, but fortunately for Ashen Empire, the Viego got rolling and he was a menace the whole time. The Draven managed to get ahead and was, pretty much 1v9ing towards the end of the game. That's pretty much it. There's not much to say about the game. We have a 3-game banger on our hands. That was game 2 of Dorado Gaming Epsilon versus Ashen Embers. We will be right back for game 3. Thanks for everybody that's joined in. We will see you all soon.
I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got.
All right, we're back here for this game 3 draft for between Dorado Gaming, Epsilon, and Ashen Embers. So yeah, we're getting started here. The Bear band coming through again. Big tear from game 1. Let's see how Dorado responds. Let's see if they switch up any of their bans from game 1. Do you think there's anything that they need to be banning, Mr. Kyle?
No, I believe that Dorado will see that they made their own bed in that game, making some crucial mistakes. I do find it interesting that Ashen is deciding to just ban out Volibear rather than try to pick the champion on B1. I think that champion's perfectly fine being B1'd, but if you're going to make any adjustments, you possibly can get rid of something like the Draven if you don't have an answer into it, but I really don't see them having to change their bans from the last draft.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you didn't like it, maybe you get rid of the Viego for the comfort, but overall, I agree. I don't think that there's really much, like you said, they laid their own bed, and then they just need to play better. The Viego could have just not been a problem, and it would have been fine. And no, this is not a cross group match. This is just an interdivisional match. Dorado Game and Epsilon already played their cross group match versus Iceborne Exodia, and they easy 2-0 them. And the Draven, I want to say almost ego pick coming in here, saying, I just 1v9'd you with it. You don't have anything for it. I do want to say I don't think it was 1v9 in that way. I think he played the later game well, but I really think he, I'm not sure that this blind is really warranted. But we'll see.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong.
There are definitely better champions at Senna. Tom Kench is definitely one of those answers. Tom Kench doesn't really care about Draven damage early in the game, and Senna is Senna scales so much harder than Draven. She's able to
the
heal out
range.
Tom Kench.
The Victor. Oh, but everyone's just making sure they're locking in their power picks. Dookie said, "I'm not losing this game. You don't have an answer for Victor. I'm picking Victor."
As we get a classic matchup in the mid lane as Corky is being hovered here. I think that might go over to Tommy. It's one of his favorite champions to play. Corky is actually fine in this game. They're going to be playing more of a poke style if they go for this Corky. I mean, you're not going to pick Lissandra into Victor. It's not a great matchup by any means. But Corky, fine into Victor, so they're going to go ahead and lock that in. And the draft is changing.
Yeah, so the Corky coming out here, getting some poke on for Ashen. Obviously answering for the Victor blind. Very strong champion. Love to see what Dorado responds with against the Corky. Pretty annoying champion, but if you can pick some engage, the Viego coming back. But Dorado has kept the counter pick for hybrid so far, so we'll see how this goes.
I actually don't think that Viego has quite as easy a time this game. They've got a lot of CC now on Dorado. You just lay down a Victor W, you lay down the Senna W. There's a lot of things that Viego has to really play around, being that he's a melee champion. So he's not going to have as easy a time. And the Gragas comes out, and this is actually a flex between top and jungle.
Yeah, the Gregonia coming out here for Dorado. And Gragas is also a huge comfort pick for hybrid. One of his classic picks. If you look at the banner, you can see that hybrid always picks the Gregonia. So we'll see how this goes.
To add a little bit of spice to this series, hybrid actually was part of Ashen at one point. Him and one of our fellow players, Dolce Raro, Rare Candy.
Yes, Senor Dulce Raro is also one of our junglers. And Dorado taking in Ashen refugees during that time they were gone. But let's see what they decide to ban here. The Seraphine getting knocked out. Seraphine, a classic partner for the Senna. I do think that there was a bit of maybe a lack of judgment in not picking Senna's partner because her two best partners are just that two of them, which is exactly the amount of bans that a team has on the second phase.
Gosh, I really hope that I do not see a Lee Sin in my game here. Um, after T1 ran it this morning, people have been really excited about this character. But yeah, I mean, you get
Okay,
Seraphine and Tom Kench banned away.
yeah. Was
You're
it
kind of,
worth it for the Gragas? I don't know.
it-
I don't know if it was
I
worth it for the
mean,
Gragas.
Cho'Gath, Mundo, those are pickable champions here, but it's much more rough than having Tom Kench.
Yeah, and I mean the Tom Kench I feel like is a really rough lane for the Dream, but the Nautilus,
Ooh, huh,
okay. I don't. I
interesting.
can't say I'm the biggest fan, but I mean this just means we're getting a farming Senna. But
I
this
don't.
also does mean that Corki is not having a fun time this game, and neither is Gago with the Gragas Nautilus.
Yeah, Gragas Nautilus, and maybe we do have like a farming Nautilus situation
Yeah,
going on. I mean, I've seen it. It does. I mean, it can work. The only problem is that Nautilus gets bullied pretty easily. His health, his starting stats are not as good as like something like a Tom Kench. So I think it's an interesting pick. I've not seen farming Senna since like 2019 or 2020. So I'm interested to see if this will actually work out if they do go for farming Senna.
yeah. So let's see what Ashen's top lane pick is. I can't imagine it's gonna be a Gnar. Actually, yeah, I can't imagine it's gonna be a Gnar, but it's a Wukong,
Ooh.
which I Wukong when Mordekaiser is open.
Yep, there's a chance that you pick Mord, but they have a lot of AP already, so I think that they maybe go for something a little more dually. They could go for like a
I mean, Olaf works here.
Olaf works, Garen works. You've got a
Th- s-
plethora of
Yeah,
picks.
there's some good AD options here for Dorado to take, but let's see what they decide to opt into.
Ooh, Dobbin gonna pull out another weird champion, maybe
Olaf
Olaf.
coming
Nice.
out. Okay, the Olaf. I mean,
You know, Olaf can still go jungle. I think that Gragas can play just fine into Wukong if
Gragas is
Dobbin
good.
plays a champ.
Gragas is good into Wukong, and I know that Dobbin did get some reps on the Gragas in, so we'll have to see where this goes. I do think this Olaf's going top. I don't know if you watched or if any of you watched the VRS semifinals, where unfortunately Gamma did lose, but in the game they won, Dobbin played the Olaf. He subbed in and he was 1v9ing. He was pretty much unstoppable. He looked like an absolute monster on the champion. Wukong does not have the greatest time into Olaf. Could be a pretty rough lane. We'll see how this plays out. Let's see. They're loading in, but I don't know if you have any additional thoughts on the draft. Otherwise, we can just go on a break.
Yeah, I don't have any real thoughts on either one of these team comps. I think that Olaf rounds out the comp pretty well. There's not a lot of CC for him as they do go and jump out, but yeah, there's not a lot to add. Morgana is good into the team comp. There's a lot of low range going on here, but I don't really have
Yeah,
any opinions on both of these team
yeah,
comps.
yeah. Pretty. It'll be an interesting game. But yeah, we'll go on a short break while they load in. It looks like there was some error in the client. I think that they were just not in order, and they're going to get an order. So no big deal. But we'll be right back as soon as the game is loaded in. Thank you everybody that's tuned in so far. This is game three. Or we're going to start game three soon of Dorado Gaming Epsilon versus Ashen Embers. We will see you all soon.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
All right, we're back. We're getting started here on this game 3 of Dorado Gaming Epsilon versus Ashen Embers. Once again, I am joined by Mr. Kyle. He is my color caster for today. No, not my color. Yeah, my color caster. Yep.
Yep, and looking to get a little bit cheeky probably with this stack, thinking that there might be an invade.
Kind of a random bush to stack if you're thinking they're going to invade it, right? I can't say I remember the last time I saw an invade from that bush.
Yeah, but it is confirmed that is farming Senna. I haven't seen Senna take Doran's blade in so long.
Looks like they're going to push up to get the vision here. They're going to drop the ward on the birds and on red buff. So that's 2 wards down just to make sure they know where the Dragonia is. And the Olaf is top, confirmed.
Oh my goodness. I'm shocked. Game 3 and we're whipping out Senna farming.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I wonder how it's gonna work out because from what I remember, her farming passive is kind of dookie.
I think it got buffed recently, I believe. I think it is I think it was buffed recently, so I think it is viable. I don't think it's as good as Fasting Senna, which is why I don't think this Gragas was worth it. But maybe if the Gragas goes crazy, maybe I'll eat my words. But right now, I don't think giving up your Senna power is worth the Gragas.
I mean, hybrid carry is that guy. So if anybody's going to be able to pop off, it's going to be hybrid carry.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in hybrid. Did not have the best early game last game, but he did look a lot better in the later parts of the mid game. So, we'll see how he does. I have faith in him. I think he's a very good player, and now he's on a very comfortable champion in the Gragas. I've got to say, I don't think that I remember. Oh, the Nautilus is rooted. They do get level 2 first, but nothing comes of it. Oh, Dobbin getting that big trade onto the Wukong. Wukong's armor passive not doing anything against true damage.
Yeah, and also, even with the armor passive, if there's ever a Q that lands from Olaf, it shreds armor. So it's almost like a normal matchup for Olaf, whereas Wukong can't really trade into the Olaf too much because of the W.
Yeah, and then here, I mean, the Olaf going in for the big trade. We can't see up top anymore. We lost vision because they're fighting in both lanes, but both solo laners from the side of Epsilon are really being dominant. They're really, punishing. Actually, every single lane is punishing their counterpart. All of them down. A little bit of CS. Obviously, nothing too major just yet. Nothing happens there. Yeah, actually, they get the flash out from the Wukong. So although we didn't see it happen, you got to be pretty happy with that if you're Dobbin here.
There is no mid laner right now for the side of Ashen. And
actually, they're gonna get the first turn onto the Viego. The Viego's gonna have to flash over. I think he does. Oh, hybrid, a little ambitious there, but I think Corki might. Never mind. Corki does. Oh wow, what a good hook, but nothing's gonna happen there.
That was the most strange sequence of events. I'm sure nobody expected to see Hook besides his teammates.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised with Hook showing up there. That completely caught me off guard. But pretty good play. Unfortunately for Hook, his play did not actually net anything. It would have been nice if he got the flash out of Corki, but he didn't. Corki playing, being wise with his flash, and Olaf just dominating the Wukong. I think that this lane is not going to get any better.
No. Wukong actually has so the thing is with Wukong here is that he's going to be the stronger team fighter, but he will never be able to match Olaf in the side lane, especially if he goes for something like Divine Sunderer. There's going to be the Olaf that's going to probably grab himself like a Triforce, and King Mike's just going to have zero chance.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, King Mike forced to just back away. He does have TP, so that's good news for him. And Dobbin doesn't have Ghost. I mean, he doesn't have Flash, so there's not much risk of a crazy play here. Dog Duke could be in some trouble here.
First item here, by the way.
Oh yes, the shield. Yeah, Dookie could be in a little bit of trouble here. Fortunately for him, the Viego does not have Flash, so he can't really Flash stun him. Hopefully he is maybe Flash. Hopefully you're not greedy with your flash. Yes, don't be greedy with your flash, kids. Always flash if you failed your side step.
Yep, and Corky was really getting.
Oh,
poked
and the
out.
big
There's
hook going
base.
on to
Oh!
the Draven, but nothing's gonna come of it. Just a good trade overall for the side of Epsilon.
Yeah, Senna doing extremely well as far as trading goes. Down in CS, but that is to be expected. Nautilus left the lane for quite a long time. Dookie is just not wanting to leave mid at all.
And almost rightfully so. I mean, he might get dove here, but I'm not sure that this Viego can really dive just yet. The Gragas is going to run into him soon. King Mike running into his. There's no,
Dobbin ghosting.
there's no reset. I don't know what Dobbin's doing there. Dobbin didn't have another axe, so.
Oh, hybrid coming.
Oh
at
my
him.
God, Hybrid dropping mad deeps onto the Viego. Viego forced to run away. I am not sure you win this fight, to be honest, Mr. Hybrid Carry. But
He's
never
got
mind.
flayed coming behind him. Look some plays. Oh! Oh my god.
Never mind. He
man.
my son knew exactly what he was doing. Those memes.
Senna is going to be left down here to his own devices. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to dive him. So really, he just picks up solo XP and some farm.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to punish him. And, you know, the side lane dominance, or not the solo lane dominance is pretty rough right now. Dobbin is just having his way with King Mike. King Mike is, you know, he's traditionally the son of our top laners. First he was Dalton's son, and now he's Dobbin's son.
I think that Dobbin might be looking for like a gore drinker here.
Or honestly, I think you go Stridebreaker maybe. Even though I know that the Morgana could protect one of them, but ultimately, if you're on a side lane, the Wukong, what is he gonna do if you Stridebreaker him, and you have your Q like continuously slowing him? Could be pretty rough. Morgana is looking for an angle here. Hook does not have flash. He should be wary of the fact they're gonna get flanked right now. King Mike's trying to get this fight going up here. Fight's going all across the map. Is he going to be in trouble here?
Hybrid coming in.
Getting a little harassed
Holy.
onto the Corki, forcing him to back off. The bot lane is not punished for that slight overextend, and Epsilon almost has 1,000 gold lead. Just from
There is so much action.
yeah, this game is high paced. I mean, Dobbin said you're not allowed to touch this without a big trade, and I mean, surely enough, King Mike eats a big trade for trying to grab that cannon. I mean, he got the cannon right, but Dobbin doing really good in making sure to punish his opponents.
Gonna take 2 turret shots. It doesn't matter for Olaf though. He has his W still. He's still got his ulti as well. So
And it's-
there's no pressure.
And his passive that you know, gets stronger the lower his health is,
The lower he
heals.
is.
Yep.
Yep.
So kind of like set. You know, you think you're getting these good trades in, and then boom, they heal because of the kit. We're gonna see a fight
Yep,
in the bot lane. Maybe Gragas does jump over the wall. I'm not sure if he was seen. Gragas could be in trouble. He doesn't have flash. He doesn't have ult. They jump onto the Viego. The Viego is jumped on, but he's gonna try to finish off Hybrid Carry. Hybrid Carry is gonna survive for now, but this could be pretty bad. They're gonna try to turn onto
has
the.
no mana.
Oh, they jump onto the Draven. Draven does not have flash. Draven has flash. He flashes out. The Corki is in the bot lane. He's gonna try to clean up the fight. Will Hooked on Flames go down? Hooked is still alive. Hooked might live here. Dog Creatine, I think, will not have the same luck. But never mind, he will get away. Dog Creatine is kind of pushing his luck. He needs to make sure he runs right now and before they get Draven ulted and they give him a bunch of gold.
Holy moly. The action does not subside or does not stop yet as there's just continuous stuff going on all the way around the map. King Mike still struggling with this top lane matchup.
Yeah, the
not
CS
having a
gap
great
is
time.
just getting bigger and bigger. 20 CS lead for Dobbin at the moment. Just Dobbin going huge. And that roam noticeably costing Tommy Q-Time quite a lot in terms of CS and the tower plating. We look at the gold, we actually see that he's now behind 300 gold, and I mean he's in the negatives too. He did use some of his futures market for that hex drinker. But I don't know if that's the move, if I'm being honest.
Victor into Corki is normally a pretty even matchup, but I think that Dookie is just a super comfortable Victor player. It has been banned from him like twice already this season, this series.
Definitely.
So-
I do think that this is giving me shades of Mr. Tommy Two-Time versus Kongi, where Tommy not only counterpicked his opponents, he went a defensive build where he picked Annie into Yasuo and proceeded to build to rush Crown and Zanya's.
It will be Stridebreaker for Olaf as well.
Oh, I love Stridebreaker. Stridebreaker on Olaf is so fun. I know that people like Triforce. I do think Triforce is a good build on him. I think it just depends, obviously, on the circumstances of the match. I think they're as good as each other. But I do enjoy. Oh, and
Oh, Tommy is
Thomas.
just dead here.
And Thomas does get killed. He doesn't have a chance to survive there. And the kill going over to the Victor, just putting him all the more ahead. X Drinker not really gonna save him there.
You know, with this chaotic early game going on, Viego has been trying to match the steps of hybrid carry, which is actually working out pretty well in Dorado's favor. Because you, as Viego, you kind of want to get ahead and farm. You don't really want to be a continuous action character, especially if you're not getting anything from it.
When they're getting a trade, but there's no Black Shield, so maybe they're gonna look for a fight here. Hooked is there, but they're not gonna do anything. Is the Dragon almost up? No, Dragon is not up for 2 more minutes. I think if Hooked was being really aggressive, he just runs up to them, flashes over, and hooks somebody. I mean, there's no Morgana Black Shield. Maybe you can get a kill, but Hooked is only level 5, so maybe it's not for the best. His roaming, I mean, he just got level 6, but
And we look at the unfortunate state of top lane as King Mike is going to have his jungler come up to break this free.
oh god, yes, you. That is this is not the spot you want to be in if you're facing an Olaf. Oh wait, but
Ooh.
Tommy does have the big rocket. Hooked, if he does step up, I think he will get engaged on. But I get a feeling that Hooked has a feeling that they're here. The ult completely misses, but he does go down anyways. The execution goes over to the Draven, who's a pretty big menace this game so far.
Hybrid wants it. Hybrid can continue. Ooh.
Yeah, Hybrid does not have flash, but oh wait, he gets the big hit onto the Morgana, but it's not going to pay out. I think it's actually going to go. Oh wait, Hybrid manages to Zanya's very last second, but he will go down anyways. This fight is not going well for Dorado Game Epsilon. They should back off, and they do. It's a 2-0 in favor of Ashen Embers.
It is a little ugly, but the thing that's happening is that top lane is an absolute stomp right now, and they are not able to help King Mike in any shape or form. He is just getting absolutely dominated, almost down 40 CS. It's just unbearable for this Wukong in top lane.
Yeah, I mean Wukong rushed his tabbies, but honestly, it's not going to help you much. Once again, the armor shred, the true damage, it's just too much for the Wukong to handle. And here we're seeing what happens when you blind Wukong. Wukong is not the monster he was before. He's good when he's flexible, and when you can get him out of bad lanes. But when you get in lanes like this where you're playing against the Olaf, I mean, what do? You might just be liable to get 1v2'd if your Viego comes up just to help you.
Yeah, and this is an early rotation towards the dragon this time for Dorado, so they're looking to put heavy priority on getting this dragon.
And Dobbin has the prio he needs, but I'm not sure. He needs to get in a position just in case his team needs him. But ultimately, I don't think. Actually, Dobbin has a great ward here if he stops them from.
He's not able to TP quite yet. 14 minutes is what
He's
they're
getting
looking for.
that is not a good team. Oh, never mind. You're right. This is a pretty bad play for Dorado Gaming Epsilon. He manages to save his Victor, but at what cost? Hybrid carry will go down here, I think. Will he be able to get away from the Viego? Viego thought he was going to kill him. He manages to get away. And never mind. Dobbin is here to clean up. They do kill Gragas, but this dragon will go over to Epsilon anyways.
Maybe. Okay, yes, it does. You actually don't want to fight this if you're Ashen.
Yeah, now that Dobbin's here, you definitely don't. Even if Wukong is here, you definitely. This is not a fight you want to take. I know you think you're strong, Diego, but you're not as fed as you were last. Oh, if that would have hit, that would have been great for Epsilon. But unfortunately, yeah.
There was no punishment on the Senna early game. She really didn't have much. She's down at farm, but she didn't die at all. Basically got all the XP that she needed. So it's not horrible. The only thing that has really happened is that Draven has picked up some kills that have put him more ahead. But at the end of the day, they didn't really punish anything. Olaf got really ahead, and it's looking good for both teams here, actually. I think that this is the most even that any early game has come out so far.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Dobbin is really, a powerhouse for Epsilon. Enjoying an almost 50 CS lead against King Mike. King Mike unable to even walk in. Yeah, I mean, what is he going to do, right? He can't even grab that CS. Greg is coming here just to drive the wound even further.
They're going to look for a dive, maybe.
Put the knife all the way in and just finish him off.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, but he missed the Q, and that is Not what you want, but it's okay. I mean, what is Wukong gonna do?
You should look to invade if you're Dobbin here. You should look to help out Hybrid on invade.
Oh my god! And what a trade! I mean, and just taking half of his health so casually. Actually, Dobbin could be in a bad spot here if the Viego does opt in to take this fight. I think that Dobbin could go down here.
I think they get 2v2. Honestly, Dobbin is.
Oh, 2v2, yes, but 1v2, I'm not too sure Dobbin is at
2v1.
that. I'm not sure if Dobbin is exactly there just yet. They're forcing they forced the Corki off the tower with a great trade there. Wukong doing his best.
Wasting so much.
And
time
what
on this
great
Viego.
trades! And though, they know that the Viego is there, they're gonna use they're gonna use Dobbin's ult to get away. But I don't think Dobbin lives here. Actually, Dobbin will go down here, and he's way too strong. The Viego can't do anything; just way too much healing for Dobbin, and he does go down. King Mike is stuck
And
between a rock and a hard place, and it goes over to Olaf, which is probably the last person you want fed. Draven is strong. He's not 1v1 a fed Olaf strong.
No, I don't think any champion. If Olaf does a whole Josco,
Oh
in
no! Oh, so close.
Creatine's looking. He wants it.
Unfortunately for him, his ult is not up anymore. But this will be a free Rift Herald for Epsilon, which will help them prepare ahead of this next dragon. That Wind Drake is going to be such a pain in the ass for Ashen if this Olaf manages to get Soul. I don't envy the person that has to watch Olaf Ragnarok into with Wind Soul buff.
Yeah, I have no idea who they actually send to match out this Olaf. You can't send Draven; he'll just die immediately. You can't send Corki because he doesn't do any damage to Olaf. So it's kind of just unwinnable for anybody that goes and tries to match up with this huge Viking in the side lane.
And Dobbin was waiting for somebody to show up, but the next dragon is in a minute and a half. So hopefully Epsilon, getting the resets in right now so that they can contest vision and make sure that they're in a good spot for the fight. I think Tommy Two Time will have his package in time for the dragon, but I think you need to be careful here not to get baited. You don't have vision. You know that they were just in river because they just what do you do before dragon, right? You set up vision in river. So don't get baited by this Draven being quote unquote alone. But I think they know that the Viego's there. They're gonna try to turn onto hybrid carry. Hybrid could be in trouble here. He does not get hit. Wow, that was a pretty big hit.
Oh,
Well, that was like Coffee said. I think Hybrid's playing on 150 ping. Honestly, flash for flash, even though that was an ugly play from Hybrid, whatever, you take it.
Just not gonna clear this red ward. This ward. Oh man.
Yeah, Hooked still sitting on vision. I mean, looks like Dobbin is gonna go back up top, knowing that if they need him, he'll TP in. But he's hoping
He's actually completing his black cleaver.
Does he need Black Cleaver? Who doesn't need Black Cleaver for? I think you just go
He
your
does
beefy.
not need it.
You go your
You go Death
beefy.
He could just dance this
Yeah.
game.
And this best of 3 did start at 8 Chelsea, but Ashen had like a 15-minute pause, so we're still here. And Epsilon actually did not run in time.
Yeah, this is going to be a little rough as far as vision goes. But
Tommy forced to use his package, so now, never mind, it is not rough anymore. They're able to run in, and they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Hybrid does jump in, but they jump onto the Wukong. Wukong does go down, the dragon does go over towards Ashen Empire, but will he be able to get away? No, he will not. He's trying to kill somebody before he goes down, but to no avail. Actually, never mind, Hybrid does go down. But the Olaf is just too strong. Didn't even bother ulting that fight.
Yeah, didn't need to use his ulti. He can just sit in the side lane. Even if he has nobody there with him, he can just probably chill and wait. I actually don't like the Black Cleaver here at all.
No, I'm not a fan of it either. I think you just go Death Stance and you're just all the more unkillable. I mean, I guess I can appreciate the movement speed, but you don't need the armor shred. You don't really need anything else it provides. So it's not really, you don't need it. Just go Death Stance and just be this unkillable monster.
I think that Draven gets dove, but
oh yeah, he can't hold this. No, the moment he gets hit by a Q, he gets ran down by Dobbin.
yeah, Dobbin just an absolute monster. And just like you said, even in the games for Gamma 1, this was the pick that Dobbin said, "Let me put you on my back," and he's doing the same here.
What I want to say is that this Draven has opted for a much earlier game build. I don't remember what he built last game, but
Kraken.
Kraken Slayer. Okay, so yeah, this game we might see hints of the Graves from game one, where too much power in the early game. He's doing well. To his credit, he's doing well. Will it help later when this Olaf is running you down? I don't think so.
No, he won't have as much effect as he did in the last game because the way that they're able to play these team fights, it's so chaotic for the side of
Oh,
Ashen to
King
try
Mike
to deal
might be
with,
dead here. Sorry to cut you off, but I think this man is out of luck
with the
here.
monkey man.
He's actually getting the TP in from the Corki. Hybrid carry does survive so far. This fight might go in favor of Ashen Empire. Hybrid trying to survive from the Wukong, forces the flash, and it is a few summoners for a kill onto the Gragas. I think
You'll see on the map though, there's literally no waves for Ashen at the moment. They have to do the Baron.
yeah, they're doing the Baron right now, and the Wukong already went bottom to go match. I'm not sure if there's anything that Epsilon can do to stop them here. Forces the flash. Oh my God, the Viego getting caught right here. The Victor doing crazy, and I don't know how they managed to win this fight, but they do. And Dog Dookie stepping up a little too far up here. He's gonna jump onto the Draven. I don't think you're that strong, Dobbin. Not without ult, Dobbin. And yeah, that's what happens. Didn't have ult, didn't have ghost.
Dobbin decides to split away from his team, which ultimately cost them in this team fight. If he just stays with his team, they're not able to re-engage like that, and he might be able to keep his ultimate.
Yeah,
stacks up.
the Corki had already jumped over the wall, right? Like, what is he gonna do if the Olaf is already, where he doesn't want to be? He can't exactly afford to jump over the wall again like he did when he saw the Olaf was following him.
Yep, but now we are
Draven picking up huge gold leads. He has a 5,000 gold lead over his opponent in the Senna, so that's pretty rough.
But is it enough? If Olaf is able to find the good ulti, is it enough to be able to stop that Olaf from just running you down? The way that these team fights are going to play out, I mean, Victor is humongous. You've also got Olaf who's big. Senna can lay down some pretty decent, consistent damage. As long as there's not a pick before a fight like what they got on Hybrid, it's going to be rough for Ashen to fight.
I'm a fan of the Lichbane on the Victor here because it's a very squishy team that they're up against. So that added burst is always helpful. I do want to say that I agree with you. I think that as long as Gragas doesn't grief before fights, I think they're fine. I don't even think he needs to make a pick on the Draven. If he gets like a good ult to get him out of the fight for a few moments, that could be more than enough to just win the fight. Given that both teams are pretty squishy, a few seconds might be all it takes to wipe the rest of your team. Crucifix is getting bursted. He's not like, here's what we're talking about. At the end of the day, an ADC can be as fed as they want, but they're still an ADC, right? They have to respect their opponent, and they have to remember their place.
As now we do see there's a lot of vision clearing going out. They're not going to be able to find consistent vision inside of this dragon pit. This should just go to Dog Epsilon.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're just going to let them. I mean, it's not like they have really much of a choice. I think that Tommy 2-time, will he have his package? I am not sure, but I think he's backing for it right now. I think.
Yeah, there's still 19 seconds on this dragon. They have time to push back in, but Dorado shouldn't be giving all this up. I don't think that they have to.
No, they definitely do not have to give up all this space. Looks like they're going for the Baron.
Yeah, Baron's going to be the call from them.
But there's a control ward there anyway, so it's not like
they're going to know.
Yeah, it's not like it's exactly a sneaky play. I don't think they burn through it fast enough, especially when Draven just auto attacked it 3 times. That might have actually been enough to keep it slow. I don't know if you leave Olaf there. Oh, but yeah, look, the Victor pretty much solo keeping them off. Getting the hook onto the Corki. The Corki is going to get knocked up anyways. Will he live? He's going to get away. Hook does go down. They are jumping onto the... well, this could be pretty bad. Dobbin is in the back line. Oh my God. Dobbin gets absolutely popped by the Draven. The Draven going too huge right now. And Dog Dookie is actually going to take on the Draven. The Draven thinking he is unstoppable, unkillable. But he forgot. He's just an ADC.
There's a lot of weird things going on here. Also, what the heck was that center range on that Q? Holy crap. We are... I mean, this is a pretty monkey game. A lot of nerves going into this game, I'm sure, as now they're looking to go on a Dookie.
But actually, in this will I think cost both of their lives. King Mike, I think, will go down here. Dog Cretin is online. He's getting that big damage, and the Victor and the Senna are online. And the Draven is he just into that huge lead he had. He still has 4 items. He's still a very formidable champion, but his window might be gone.
Yeah, his window is closing very slowly, but he is on IE. He is on LDR. He's definitely the strongest person, maybe even in the game. But now the Baron has been started up. Let's see what goes on here. No package on Corki.
No package on Corki, no Viego, no Wukong, no front line to speak of. Dog Dookie just doing way too much damage. Wow, look at that. He's gonna force him to flash out. They can't contest at all. And
Oh, Gromp. That Dorado Gromp, give that man a contract.
yeah, we gotta sign that crop of those meals. Oh, that Draven. I don't know what happened. That was some really unfortunate aggro juggling there.
Holy crap. All right. So Dorado
Meals,
picked up
meals.
the Baron. Now they're able to apply as much pressure as they want onto the map. I don't think that this Draven's in quite the spot. He might, if he's able to find his way onto Creatine or Dookie, he might have the damage to kill them. But I don't see a way that he's going to get through Dobbin or get through Flay without getting completely messed up.
And you know what we haven't seen yet? We haven't seen a good 5v5 yet from Epsilon. Someone's always late. Someone's always making a bad decision to not make the group 5v5. I mean, I'm saying someone, but it's Dobbin, right? Dobbin showed up late to the last fight, and he chased the Corki, and he pretty much left himself out of the fight without ult or ghost because the Corki got away. And this previous fight where he got popped right before the Draven hinted, he joined a little too late and got popped.
Hybrid is just ready for the smoke at all times. Look at him running in, wanting to clear wards out. He's going to get hit by binding.
Viego thought, I guess, maybe he'd be able to jump over the wall with his... he has flash. I don't think he's scared. I guess they know they can get collapsed on. Hybrid, no, I guess being really comfortable with the limits of his champion is not too worried about getting collapsed on potentially.
Senna just queued Draven for a quarter of his HP from halfway across the map. So we're looking pretty strong for Epsilon here. They've got to push on the bot side. They've got to push on mid. I don't think that they're able to engage as far as Ashen goes. So it's going to be rough for them to try to stop this push.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have some pretty good wave clear, the Corki, but oh my god, look at that damage from Victor and from Senna. It's just so much to handle. And Dobbin, being a monster, he finally got his death stance. He should have had it. 3,000 gold to go, but at least he has it now, I guess.
Yeah, what do we know though? He's popping off on the Olaf here. It's gonna be, this is gonna be a hard siege to hold off, as now King Mike kind of has to have this Morgana with him, or else he would just get immediately dove.
And Greg is doing a really good job juggling between the lanes. But look, it's taking Tommy, King Mike, and the Morgana to stop the siege. And they're being left with an unbalanced division on both lanes, having a really rough time. I think one of the towers has to go down.
Hybrid has been clearing wards for the past 3 minutes in the jungle. Just no vision at all for the side of Ashen. They're going to be able to grab up this mid turret. Probably not going to be able to push up for the inhib though.
No inhib, but still, you managed to break down the tower. And next time there's a big fight, you can just run it down mid. You have the tower gone. They're looking for a death push. I mean, they have control of this jungle. I don't think Ashen can afford to walk into this jungle at all.
Diego walking in. He's gonna spot out somebody. Gonna find him.
Hooked, kind of griefing there. He could have hooked a little earlier and gotten him, but I guess it is what it is. I guess.
Ooh. All right, Dragon should be basically a formality at this point, as Dorado playing around their waves super well. Mid wave, nothing there. They're not going to be able to pick up trades.
Oh my god! Dog Dookie doing a bunch of damage. Draven dropping that ult, hitting somebody in the bush, so it doesn't even get to try to contest the but Corki wasting his package. I feel like not going to be up for the soul fight now, I think, right?
Not going to be up for soul fight, and it's also not going to be up for the Baron, so he's not going to have it for either one of these big fights. Is now Viego getting poked down. They're going to have to disengage this. No ulti on Victor.
What is Senna's soul count? Senna has, that's the wrong champion. Senna has 89 stacks right now.
89 stacks, not bad, not bad. for a farming Senna, this is actually pretty decent. He is down almost 100 CS, but it really doesn't matter. Senna is not known for needing 100 million CS to be useful. This is literally all you need from Senna. Just surviving the early game and making it so that it is just difficult as hell to get onto her.
Yeah, I mean, she's done a great job, right? I mean, sure, there's a, at its face, there's a gold difference, but ultimately, Senna gets free gold stats, right? So even though she's out behind in gold, a lot of that is made up by better scaling, by having pretty much free stats from her ghosts or spirits. So we'll
Yep.
see. We'll see how this next fight goes. I mean, there's a Baron coming up in 1 minute. Epsilon has the initiative. They are taking, over Vision in the river. So let's see how Ashen Embers decides to react.
Yeah, and you do see Viego decided to not go for that glass cannon build this time around. Decided to actually go for the Divine Sunderer, which is a fine build. He just Viego has no
Oh my
home,
god,
and
they're
that's
gonna jump onto Tommy 2 time. Tommy 2 does
Oh
get violated, and he will go down there.
Oh, there's a TP. He's all alone.
King Mike is all alone, and he will go down here. And they managed to jump onto the Draven. The Draven flashes over, but the Nautilus ult is still looking for him. Victor is finding him 1v1. He's on his. He doesn't even get the chance to heal. And they turn onto the Morgana. Morgana tries to ult, but she will go down. And I think this is an end angle. I think you stand here.
That is going to be a GG, likely. Yeah, I mean, Viego in that first game had no home. And they went ahead and picked him again. But my thought is that if you don't have the same early game like you had the last game, then he
Yeah, I mean, this is how I think this is how last game would have gone if Hybrid wasn't griefing. But
hey, let's not say that Hybrid was playing extremely well this game.
yeah, Hybrid was playing very well. He was playing a lot smarter, and it showed. Oh, Hook trying to kill Mr. Thomas 2 instances, and
2 instances.
I mean, that's a big dub for Dorado Gaming, ending our horrible hell week that we've had so far over here at Dorado. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I guess it's a good ending. It's a good closing day for an otherwise pretty bad week. But let's look at some numbers. I'm gonna go to transition for a few seconds, and just gonna get ready and show you all the numbers. Oh, True Coffee, you make a good point. We did beat Chelsea, but we didn't win the tournament. So but we did lose that tournament because Shima was running Naruto running from library to library. So you're right. Zeta and Epsilon uh have redeemed our hell week. So let's take a look at some of the numbers here. Okay. So I mean the Victor we can see why the Victor was banned here, right? I mean just so much damage. He's doing so well. Just the comfort on the Victor was just insane. You could see it the whole time. Let's look at some of the gold graphs. I mean, it was solidly an Epsilon game all throughout. There was a few throws, but I think the highest gold. Let's see what the highest gold lead they ever had was.
Wow. 85
The highest,
gold.
no, 195 was the biggest gold lead that Ashen Ember ever held against Epsilon.
Just
But-
look at the gold swings. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of gold swings. Epsilon doing their best to make the game competitive, but I do think it is like it was a series of 2 stories, right? I mean, I think Epsilon really just kind of ran it down game 2. I think what we've seen so far, the matches that they've dropped, which is the second game that they've dropped in this series, it's all been in Epsilon's hands, and which I think is a positive and a negative. It's a positive in that you can be pretty happy about knowing that your performances are what caused you to lose, and not necessarily because you are inherently weak team. But it's also a negative because you're making these simple mistakes that are handing over losses against teams that you should not be dropping games to. All right, but we'll actually do interviews because I forgot we do those. Who are your 2 MVPs for today?
I mean, I've got to go with Dookie for this third game, and I think Hybrid for the first game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be those 2 for me. Maybe Dobbin and Hook get a close call. I think that Corey played very well. He was a little more quiet this series, but he still did his job very well. Not standout MVP, but we will get Hybrid and Mr. Dookie in here. All right, we got Hybrid in here, and we're gonna get all right, Mr. Dookie in here, our series MVPs for today.
Oh, hi.
So how do you guys
Thank you.
how do you guys feel after that series? Because that was definitely a series against
Yeah, it
Ashen
was.
Embers.
Yeah. I mean, I think we kind of griefed game two. We gave the Viego way too many kills in the early game, but games 1 and 3 were super free. I personally am a little relieved because we haven't like actually played as a stack in like a week and a half. So it feels good to come back and get a couple of clean wins off of a team that's supposed to be like top 3. But
Yeah.
game's
that-
just easy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, man. I hadn't really thought about it while criticizing you guys throughout the match, but you guys are coming off of a no scrim week, so
Mhm.
overall, lapses in gameplay judgment are to be expected, and I think that
Mhm.
overall you guys really brought it back. So talk to me about that game too, Mr. Dookie. I don't know if you watched,
Yes, sir.
have you listened to some of the stream, but I don't know if you did, you would have heard me flaming you up for your swaying decision making. So can can you guys talk to us about that game too a little bit?
Yeah, I'll start for a sec.
Go ahead.
We countered the Viego gank mid, and
Mhm.
Andrew trolled me by not hitting the Soini on the Viego, and so that's the reason why I griefed the rest of the game was that.
Mhm.
You're tilted, okay.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's understandable to be honest. I run it down too. If someone tilts me, so yeah. Pretty much the whole series. That whole match, that whole game too. I was saying that it was all Andrew's fault anyway. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that I'm
I-
glad that it started from the very beginning.
It
Nice.
is. Don't worry, I take full responsibility, and I will be removing myself from the team.
all right,
Lit.
all right. What about you, Kyle? Do you have a question for them?
Do I have a question? Um, what was the thought of the draft process in the third game? Because it seemed like you guys
Mhm.
kind of went away from a draft plan and more so just said, "Hey, we've got like insane priority on our prio picks that we want to get." So, was
Mhm.
your plan really just to pick on comfort?
We were after game 2, we weren't super happy with the Wukong into Viego matchup. And so I think we were going into it wanting to get a counter matchup for our jungle, knowing that kind of if they pick Viego, we're going to change what we do in response to it. So I think we kind of wanted to hold the jungle pick a little bit. And I knew they had banned the Victor in game 1. And so I knew they were kind of spooked of it. I also am just very comfortable on Victor. And I think Senna's one of our best picks as a team. So with the kind of caveat being that you need more damage in other roles. And so the Senna Victor 1-2 kind of just fulfills it's both a good pick for us and gives us the damage through mid that we kind of lack when we're playing Senna ADC.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of let us accomplish those two things, albeit.
And I'll add on to it that we wanted to speed the game up more because we feel like if we're being proactive, then that we're gonna beat them like 9 times out of 10. So
Yes.
we just gave Dobbin counter matchup against somebody who's gonna smash and just pick people that are gonna run around the map.
Bro, it's just a top gap.
And
Okay.
another question, this one for Hybrid.
Oh shit.
How does it feel to get some I don't know if it's comeuppance or what, but how does it feel to beat your old team in Ashen?
I mean, they dog. It don't mean much. That's it.
He
No,
said,
no,
"Hey,
no.
my
I like
son."
Mike. I mean, it was fun. It was actually a pretty good series. They bounced back after game 1. I was pretty impressed, and they played pretty well. I think they'll be a decent playoff team. It was fun.
All right,
All right,
that's it.
looking forward. That was week 4, so we have 3 matches left of APL. You guys are undefeated. I think that Bink Chillers are your fellow undefeated team. I don't think
Mhm.
that whoever you guys are playing between now and then should be too much of a problem. But let's look forward to the match of the undefeateds. The 2 teams that have in their cross matches have also beaten very highly seeded teams. I know that Bink Chillers put CBR in the ground, and I know that you guys
stomped out Iceborne Exodia. So
Mhm.
what are you guys' thoughts? What do you think about this upcoming matchup? You guys think that they are frauds? That they're actually decent? What thoughts do you guys have?
I think they're good, and it should be a fun match. They also dropped a match or a map to Ashen,
Mhm.
so I'd say we're kind of on the same trajectory a little bit, and it ought to be fun. They're a solid team.
Yeah,
What,
I'm excited mostly. I haven't looked too much into them as a team because we play them, I think, the last week of the
Yeah,
season.
yeah, the very
Uh,
last week.
and so kind of got to scout other teams right now. But I am very excited to play them. And I know that they, based on kind of the content that they've been putting out through APL, I know that they're kind of excited to play us as well and are rating us pretty highly. So I'm hoping that we can both be undefeated going into that final week, and it should be a hype matchup.
yeah, it would be pretty exciting to see who goes. I think you get a bye if you get in first place, so should be pretty exciting. Wish you guys the best. I think who are we still who do we still play? The nameless team.
Yeah, we
Um,
play Nameless next
I
week, and
think
then we
that
play
XF.
X Flow.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
X Flow
it's
is
yeah, nameless, then
yeah,
Xflow,
X
then Big
Flow super
Chillers.
last place team, but Nameless
and
is
Nameless has been pretty good. They've
Nameless
been
should
winning
be right.
matches.
They should be an
Yeah,
interesting
they're
match.
two.
They're
They're two
probably
and one, I think.
fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
You
two
want
and
there
one.
for okay. And Ashen, what is it? The second series. So I mean, Ashen looks like they got their hard matches out of the way early in Bing
Yeah.
Chillers
Mhm.
and Epsilon. So we'll see where they end up. Uh, it'll the fight for third place. Ideally should be between them and Nameless, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
One last question. So, are there any cross division teams you guys are worried about or think could be a really could be potential trouble for you guys?
Um, I don't know if I'm really overly worried about anybody. I'm interested to play Return of the Middle Sticks because yeah, they should be a fun team to play against. But
Yes.
I think that's like the only one that I'm like really keeping an eye on. I'm not.
Okay,
I
so
don't
no,
see.
no, what is they called? The Crustacean Nation, whatever, with
Nah,
Mr. 08 or CBR. None of those are really worrying you.
nah. I mean, honestly, the biggest comp in the league is probably being Chillers. So
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, Return
I,
to the Middle Sticks will be interesting with their special
yeah,
jungler, but I mean, the
yeah,
Targon group doesn't look too strong. Their number one seed, I think, was Oblivion Esports Ruby, and they're not
yeah.
doing too hot. And I don't think that group is too
Mhm.
strong, to be honest. But yeah, I agree. I think that Bing Chillers and Rodham are definitely up there in power. I'm interested to see if Iceborne makes it to playoffs, or if Manny should just like be blacklisted by everybody in APL because he can't make playoffs.
I mean, he had to bring Husky in to get some wins for the team, bro. I don't know. We'll
Oh,
see.
Husky carried them.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. I was watching that whole series, bro.
the superior Indian ADC.
I mean, Fault was in my DM saying, "Wow, it was so nice to play with Husky again, man. It was
Yeah, he
fun."
missed Husky.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't miss Husky, right? Except I guess when we miss him, when he's like, when
yeah,
he's coming back from dance recital or miss. But
yeah.
okay, that was pretty much it for me. I don't know if you have any last second questions, Kyle. Otherwise, I'll let them give their shout outs.
I got nothing. Let's go Dorado.
All right, sounds good. Well, I mean, I'll let you guys do your shout outs and then we'll head out.
Okay. Uh, I guess just shout out to my team for carrying me today, and everybody's just going crazy. And shout out to Bald Man, and thank you to Cuddlebun. That's it.
Sounds good. All right, what about you,
Mr.
Mr.
Dookie.
Dookie, Mr. Dookie?
I got to shout out Cuddlebun coming through with the hot drafts as always. I got to shout out my boys in the Dorado Gaming Esports chat, Dolo, and I know someone else was here earlier rooting
You had
for
a
me.
you had
So I
a you
got
had a few fans in here tonight.
I got the fan club. Got to shout out the fan
Yeah,
club.
yeah. You had a few fans here
Uh,
today. Definitely cheering
yeah.
you on. But yeah, great. Always great to have you guys as friends. Come and watch. But that'll be it for tonight. If you guys don't have anything else to say, that was 2-1 for Epsilon. Epsilon saving Dorado from a hell week, and you know, a week we'd rather forget, except for the weekend, I guess. But that'll be all. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. That was Epsilon versus Ashen Embers. Epsilon does win 2-1, and they continue undefeated in series in APL. We will see you all soon.